years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
I absolutely love college football. And I missed, and I guess I didn't realize I missed it as much. And I think so many of you feel and realize the same thing. I just love college football. I love the excitement. I love the unpredictability at times, although there's plenty of predictability. I love the crazy, did you see that moment? Did you see that score? What the hell happened to them? Their dog bleep, they're really good. I love Overreaction Monday, and I love being here for you on Labor Day. What's good, y'all? Merry Labor Day. It's the opening drive in your ear. That's right. We are working in a building that we have to find coffee somewhere in some Bobcat's locker. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. What's good, y'all?
Oh, what'd it do?
I stared at college football as much as I could. I sat on my couch. I put miles on that thing on Saturday night, deep into the night, watching San Diego State, New Mexico State, and Nevada and Cal. What was the other game on? There was another game on. It was the Pac. No, that was the Pac-12.
Georgia, Clemson.
Yeah, that was over earlier. Although that was good, but was it?
No.
Damn, dude. Like the crowds. You think people weren't dying to go back every game? Well, outside Mountain West games, every game you looked at, the Clemson crowd, last night's crowd of Florida State. BYU Arizona was the other one. And with 59, almost 60,000 people in Vegas. Like, man, that was fun.
It was very fun. It was very exciting Saturday of college football, to your point of not just the tames, it's the atmosphere. And that's why we love college football, because it does hit differently. There's a different attraction to a college football Saturday when you see those atmospheres, see those games, the upsets across the board, because all FCS opponents are not created equally. And then at the very top, what we saw with Georgia and Clemson.
I don't even know where I want to start. Is Georgia Clemson the biggest thing because it's the biggest story, because it's got the biggest impact overall? Is UCLA beating LSU big because the Pac-12, for crying out loud, needed something after Washington State got beat by Montana and Utah State? Is it New Mexico State up 10-0 and people losing their bleeping minds at halftime? I asked that guys, literally worst half of football I've ever seen. This is pathetic. Bring back Rocky. I'm like, relax, man. Just relax. And it became 28-10. If there's one thing that stood out this weekend, is there? Because to me, there's a bunch. But is there one?
I would say it would be UCLA. I think what they did to LSU, start buying the hype of Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
Especially with Ed Orgeron going in there, and they caught a clip of him saying, bring that bleep in your sissy blue uniforms, and then
your
it's
sissy
just
little blue shirt. Yeah.
all over the place, and UCLA is editing that clip into everything they're doing. And then Georgia. Like, Clemson played well defensively, but it's been a long time since we've seen a Clemson team look that bad offensively, because the Dogs' defense destroyed them.
They did. There wasn't an offensive touchdown in that game until what was the final? It was 10-7? Is that where we were?
It's a 3.
10-3.
Wisconsin, Penn State was good.
Wisconsin, Penn State was good. There was, the UCLA game to me.
Oh, yeah.
So Clemson, Georgia, someone was going to win, someone was going to lose, right? I mean, really, Jeff, that was how the game was. But my point on that is, it's a playoff game. It's two playoff teams or two teams perennially. Like, okay, somebody was going to fall, and we're going to talk about them later. Well, they got one loss or two losses. It was to this team. To me, UCLA, the way they beat LSU, they didn't finesse them. And to JJ's point, the whole thought about the Pac-12 is that they're soft and they're finesse, and that's how they play. And Ed Orgeron getting heckled walking into the Rose Bowl, and bring your bleep on, you and your little sissy blue shirt. And well, those little sissy. By the way, your colors are purple and yellow. With all due respect, I mean, whoever. I don't know what sissy colors are. I don't. I guess you've got to be black and silver, black and whatever. Excuse me, but I don't know what sissy colors. I don't. I guess it's UCLA according to the guy who's wearing purple and yellow. I don't know. Not the Vikings or any. I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't know. But UCLA punched him in the mouth. UCLA didn't out finesse them. Let me tell you what UCLA did to them. UCLA out athleted them. UCLA out physicaled them. Dare I say, and this is where people on the LSU side are losing their mind with Orgeron 2 years now, a year and a half removed from winning a national championship. UCLA out coached them. UCLA was better than LSU.
They were across the board. The way they played the contest, I think the main thing, as you said, is that physicality.
Yes.
And LSU thought they were going to go in there and push them around, beat them up, make UCLA look bad. Everyone was going to laugh at Chip Kelly, and everyone's laughing at Ed Orgeron right now.
Yeah.
And at that LSU team. And that's why all of a sudden Ed Orgeron, and not just after this game, but even the talk was happening last year, is that he's on the hot seat. And that happens because you have one of the greatest quarterbacks ever at LSU. He gone, one of the best offenses you're ever going to see. And you set that bar so high, and then you underwhelm last year, even with all the things that were going on. And then you go out to the West Coast and lose to UCLA. His seat's on fire.
All right, my account's locked. So here's how my Labor Day's starting for you.
Okay.
I can't get into the computer. My account is now locked.
Oh boy.
And I knew we weren't gonna have coffee, just because. So I got up, I got down, got the coffee maker going. I did a travel mug, then I did a double, and it's sitting on the counter. So that's how the day's going.
Well, it's because there's so much fun this weekend. So much good sports.
All right.
FSU Notre Dame was really good too.
It was epic last night.
During our draft, but
Well, I wasn't even really watching. I was doing other stuff.
so good.
And then they came all the way back, and the story with Mackenzie Milton is just Alex Smith-esque, and that young man almost came back. I mean, he also had a leg injury where the paramedics the EMTs saved him at the beginning when he was at Wake Forest. Had multiple surgeries, 3 years out, and then here he is on national television on Sunday night, leading Florida State off the bench to what really, by everything, looked like it was going to be a victory over Notre Dame. I think the whole country was rooting for him. Do you think? And except for Notre Dame fans last night. Everybody. I mean, how were you not rooting for that kid last night? And then they stopped the play in overtime. Milton goes back and pump fakes, dropped the ball, fell on it. It's a fumble. And Mike Norvell, their head coach, challenged it just as the field goal kicker's kicking the field goal. It was an incomplete pass, moved it up another 15 yards, and they missed the field goal, and they lose the game. It was brutal. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and overreact. I think Alabama's the best team in the world. And after that, man, I mean, is it going to be Ohio State and Georgia and how does Clemson get back in? There's nobody left on their schedule. The ACC took a beating this week.
They did. The only thing would be they finish as a one-loss conference champion, and there's multiple two-loss teams, which keeps them right there in that conversation.
So that would mean whoever wins the Pac-12 got 2 losses, right?
Well, even if Georgia somehow loses too.
Well, Georgia gets in its 2, right? And then Oklahoma didn't look great. Tulane damn near got them, right? Texas didn't look great, although they played a better opponent. Ohio State will get Oregon this week. Oregon looked horrible. That's not fair. Oregon didn't look horrible. Oregon struggled to get through Fresno State. Do you think Oregon looked horrible?
I don't think they looked horrible. I thought Fresno State looked a lot better than I thought they would in that game.
Yeah. All right, here's what we're going to do today. 505-246-0610. It's going to have a little different clock on it today. We are still at 8 o'clock. Going to have a conversation with Danny Gonzalez, Lobo football coach. It is Lobo Aggie week this week here in New Mexico. New Mexico State comes in after losing to San Diego State 28-10. I told you that number was way too big, by the way. San Diego State just doesn't score enough points to blow somebody out. The number was like 20-something and a half. Aggies looked actually really nice in the first half. You can tell me how bad San Diego State was, and you might be right. But I thought New Mexico State looked really nice in the first half. So we'll talk to Danny coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Coming up at 9 o'clock, Lobo women's soccer coming off a huge victory last night. Yesterday, actually, out at the soccer complex, where they beat a Pac-12 team. The Lobo women get a late goal, and there was the goalkeeper, Emily Johnson, on the assist. They beat Washington 2-1, so we'll catch up with Emily Johnson coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. Elsewhere, I don't know how many of you watch this, and this is what's really weird to me. The Gladiators were in the semifinals of the IFL last night. And I thought got hosed. I was going back and forth, JJ, with our buddy Sed Bonner on text last night.
Oh, yeah.
And he was the commentator on the broadcast. And he said it absolutely was a pick. I thought, no. He says, yeah, watch it. They crossed. I said, yeah, they crossed. But I don't think there was a pick. And then the receiver held his hands up, which probably called for the play. Gladiators went back and forth with Arizona last night. Arizona scored with 18 seconds to go up by 3 points. Dello Davis returns the kick to the 6-yard line, fumbles it. They fall on it, stumble into the end zone, call it out of bounds at the 1 with 6 seconds to go. Nate Davis throws a touchdown pass with 3 seconds to go. Gladiators are going to win this thing and go to the United Bowl. There's a flag down. They call a pick. 2 receivers did cross. They absolutely crossed. I thought it was did you see it?
Yes.
I thought
Heartbroken.
What'd
though.
you think of it?
I agree with you. It was tough though. Oh.
Well, there was no contact.
Right.
There was.
Was there?
Yeah, but to me, it wasn't to the extent of you call that
And change the game?
at that point in
Change
time
the outcome of who goes to a
because
championship
the
game?
dude acted like
Yeah, he fell down.
he got hit by a semi.
Yeah, I know. I just it was brutal. And they lose the game. They bring in the field goal kicker, go to overtime, and he missed it.
Missed it.
And they lose by 3 points. The same field goal kicker kicked the long extra, Kevin Gosling. I was thinking last night, if that was United in the semifinals of their thing, like every TV station would have had a reporter there, and they'd have led with it, and that's the difference in the marketing of those two teams in this right now. I think it's a lot to be said for United. But I just, JJ, I'm watching this thing go back. First of all, what a great football game! Great
It was unbelievable.
game to watch. Yeah, insane back and forth, excitement. I'm not sure. I think the better team won, but the Arizona goes on to the United Bowl. What a good season for the Gladiators in their first year playing in the IFL. I don't know your thoughts when you watch that, because I thought it was wrong. I thought, how do you make that call at that moment to decide who goes to a championship?
When you watch it over and over, you see it.
Well, you see,
And I think it's in that moment, and it's that age-old question of, did it happen? If it did, then it's a flag. And I think there's enough contact why it would
thought there was, yeah.
catch the attention of it, even though I believe it was exaggerated contact,
Yeah.
which gets your attention as a referee. But it was an unbelievable game. The ending, just sitting there, and right after they scored, I was like, man, that's a bummer. Maybe they somehow end up with like a long field goal attempt.
Yeah.
But then Dello Davis flips the game upside down with his kickoff return, but then he fumbles and just
and they
everything-
fell on it. They
and
fell on it in the end
fell
zone.
on it in the end zone, but it was recovered and he was touched at the 2-yard line. That was a correct call
Yeah, no,
there
I think that's right. He hit the wall when he
by the referees.
Yeah.
Man, this team has been so much fun, and I think a lot of it too is now learning that they are in a bigger league.
Yeah.
They are in a more established place. There's only 11 teams, so as the league continues to grow, I think the plan is in the next year or two to have 17 and eventually get up to 24. I think that's going to help them overall because the talent is good, the product is fantastic. This team is so much fun to watch. And as that league gets a little bit more stability, gets a little bit larger, I think it's only going to help them moving forward and then getting more and more people interested and involved in this story and product.
Yeah, I thought all of that's right. All of that is right. They're fun to go to. They were fun to watch. They got better in that league. They're a crazy call away from playing for a championship next week, and they're not. 505-246-0610 is how to get to us today. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We also start the NFL on Thursday. Big Cowboy news. Zach Martin, their offensive lineman, is out. He had COVID. They will go to Tampa Bay on Thursday to open the season without the guy who Ezekiel Elliott calls their best offensive player. I don't know if he is or if he's not, but obviously he's pretty pivotal to what they do. I look at this and I don't see how they win this game. And Cowboy fans go, what are you talking about?
Oh no.
I think they're playing a team in Tampa Bay, obviously the defending champs. Now, the defending champions sometimes come out flat on Thursday. In fact, I don't know, more than sometimes. But I'm looking at a team in Tampa that's led by that guy, and who's got a defense that is spectacular. And I'm watching the Cowboys go out there with now their best offensive lineman out, and Dak hasn't taken a live snap since the injury. And I know people don't worry about Dak. He'll be fine. I think that's right. I think Dak will be fine. But I just really feel that the first time you're going out there under live fire is against the Super Bowl champions on Thursday Night Football in the real thing. Like there's got to be something right here. Dak's got to have a slow start, right?
Yes.
It's one where you see that number right now, Tampa Bay 7.5-point favorites, and I believe they
Ooh.
cover.
You think Tampa does?
I do. I think this is
I do too.
10, 13-point win, but it's comfortable because, to your point, that slow start, that offense that has to find its rhythm again. I'm still in on Dak. I don't think this is going to be an
100%.
injury issue. I think it's going to be a back on the field for the first time, no Zach Martin. Are we going to be as explosive as we believe we can be in game one? And I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Dak is going to be fine long term. I would have felt a lot better about this. And I know you're sitting there thinking you'd have felt better if he played against some scrubs from Houston in week 3 of exhibition. Yeah, actually, I would have. There'd have been live fire coming from the other side, guys in another uniform. Yeah, I would have felt better. But we'll see. We'll see. I just think he's human, and somehow naturally in his head, this is the first live fire that he's going to see. And, I mean, tell me you're not going to be like on the first hit, just like you were on Alex Smith.
Absolutely.
Tell me you're not just going to kind of like on the very first hit, just like you were with Alex Smith. All right, I got to take a break. Then we'll come back, go to the phones. 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Your emails come in, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Danny Gonzalez at the top of the hour. We're going to talk Lobo women's soccer at 9 o'clock. It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Raider Nation.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep students, teachers, and staff safe. New Mexico's distributor of the Novalent Shield Plus, an antimicrobial hand sanitizer that lasts 24 hours. That's right, 24 hours. 1 liter will provide approximately 2,000 individual applications. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Datacom has portable AC units for rent. Applications include server rooms, retail outlets, healthcare facilities, laboratories, convenience stores and truck stops, events, concerts, and weddings. All of these units are 120-volt plug-and-play. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacalm.com to learn more. DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide on Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week.
The Sports Animal.
Give them a stadium. United won one. They won 1 out of 8 in their last 8 games. They won a game. Give them a stadium. 3-2 United beat Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Hey, I got a question for you,
yes.
And then we're going to the phones. Because 100% I don't understand it, and so the first time they're playing somebody, I don't know who they're playing from the East. They're going Louisville, I think, and I heard Tyler say, and what will be a historical match. So in soccer, the first time 2 franchises play, is that just a term that's thrown out there? It'll be historical when they played Oakland Roots. It'll be a historical match. It's a historical match. First time they played Loudoun FC, historical match.
Just word salad.
Okay. Like, do they really believe that this is historical because you're playing a franchise you've never?
You can call it
whatever you want.
History if it's the first time you're playing someone, but it's not historic.
Well, it's history the second time you're playing too.
By the way,
hey, it's the 10th time they played. It's historical. I'm just asking. No, I honestly didn't.
No, I think it's just kind of getting caught up in the moment, not trying, just word salad.
Okay. No, fair. But I've heard it like so many times. That's why I asked that. Okay. Yeah, nice victory for them. They needed to beat that team. They did. They got up and
it
it
felt like, oh, here we go again. Especially when you had the beautiful header own goal and tie the game up early, but they controlled it from pretty much start to finish.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
All right, let's go, Tommy. Good morning. Get us started. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Good day, sir.
Hey, guys. Tommy the Truth back at you. Good morning to you guys. Hope you have a great Monday. And, I'm going to call in when I hear some Cowboy talk. Unfortunately, we won't have what I consider our best offensive lineman on the field that day, but to me, it's next man up, like Tom Brady would say. To me, this is one of the games I have them losing. They played 3 teams that had over 500 records last year, which is Tampa Bay and the Saints, and also Kansas City. I had them losing to Tampa Bay and Kansas City on the schedule, going 11-6. The schedule is rather easy when you look at some of the teams that they're playing based on schedule last year and how they finished up. Again, only 3 teams over 500 on their schedule this year. this is the one thing about COVID, and we're going to have to deal with it all year long, is that you better have your backups, your third stringers ready to play.
No doubt.
Because you never know when it's going to strike, and then you guys are going to have to step up, and it's unfortunate. I can't stand it. I want the teams to always be able to play at full strength. But this also is going to be an interesting argument to say Tampa Bay, I believe, has all their players. I think they're at 100% vaccination, correct?
That's what they say, yes.
That's what they say.
Yes.
This is a big argument to make sure all the teams are fully vaccinated, even though you have some players that don't want to get vaccinated. And then we'll just see what happens with Tampa Bay. I'm going to be curious to watch them just over the season to see if anybody on their team gets COVID with the vaccination. Then that's going to throw another wrench into it.
No,
I don't want to
somebody
think about
may.
COVID. I just want to think about football. I want to think about guys hitting and pounding and scoring points. But this COVID, it throws it into a total, complete cluster, you know what, which I can't say on air.
Thank you.
But
thank you for that.
I think Dallas, I just want them to be competitive. If they don't, the thing with me is that if they don't beat Tampa Bay, of course I want them to win. But if they just lay down and Tampa Bay just destroys them, it is going to tell me a little bit about my team. It's a good barometer to measure how maybe the rest of the season will go, even though it's just one game. And I did pick them to lose it. I'm not going to say, oh, they lost the Tampa Bay, season's over. But I don't want them to get destroyed either. I don't want them just to lay down. So it's going to tell me a lot about the team the first game going. You want to be the best, you got to beat the best, correct?
Look, I think you get an idea on week one, and we sit here on Overreaction Monday this week and next week, and everybody will lose their mind. San Diego State fans losing their mind because they look horrible in the first half against the Aggies, and people lose their mind next week about how their NFL team looks. It's going to be 1 week. It's going to be 1 week, but you're going to get an idea. You're going to get an idea what the team looks like. Absolutely, you will.
Especially, I'm on the defensive part. It's probably I'm going to watch more than the offense because I'm pretty sure I know we're going to score points. I want to see how this new defense is going to work out because it cannot be any worse than last year.
Over under 21 points against Tampa Bay because I'm going to tell you under.
Dallas will score over 21 points?
Over or under? Which way are you going? Over or under 21 points against Tampa Bay? I'm going under.
I'll say the under.
Yeah, I'm going under too.
I have them losing this game. I hope they score more, but like I said, I just don't want them just to lay down and get destroyed. That will really tell me, God, this team's just going to be good.
Yep.
They're not going to be great, but we'll see. And then I'll guarantee you guys this one thing: if they lose this game, they're going to go 1-16. No, I'm just kidding.
See you, Tommy. Have a good day. All right. So, yeah, I got that now. Cool. I should have told you that. I'm up with that. Thank you. Overreaction Monday is this year. So like, the overreaction for UCLA, you had two looks. Is that overreaction, or you start?
It's not overreaction.
Yeah,
that is a worthy celebration, and this is the thing that talk about sports and being a sports fan, and there's so many different ways to do it. But what happened between UCLA fan and LSU fan over the weekend was just cringeworthy. Because immediately LSU fan goes to, "Don't talk to me when you win a national championship." Oh, how you out there celebrating a week 2 win? Shut it. You can celebrate things in sports. Now I have an issue if we're storming the field after beating an FCS opponent. I'm looking at you, Kansas. That's a bit over the top. I get you haven't had a lot of success in football, but you just barely beat an FCS opponent. Celebrate, enjoy it. Maybe not storm the field, but UCLA beating LSU. The junk the SEC talks over and over and over, and then their fans try to get on social media and be like, "It ain't that big, it's week 2. Y'all just aren't used to winning." Shut it. Celebrate it.
It might be just week 2, and they might not be used to winning, but they did just whoop you.
Flip the script. And what would have happened if LSU won that game? All those LSU fans would have been in the mentions being like, "Yeah, that's right, Edo told you what's up."
That's right. And you soft Cali boys in your little sissy blue shirts. Yes, that's right. And that would have been it would have been a Edo t-shirt now. You'd have been able to buy that in Baton Rouge. You and your sissy blue shirt. It would have been everywhere. Bring your ass out here with you and your little sissy blue shirt. And he laughed. He's wearing purple. I don't know. I'll bet Bruin James wearing a sissy blue shirt right now. How you living, James?
We are the sons of Westwood. Fight. Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Excellent.
I just got some things to say, and I'm going to stand on my box a little bit, and I'm not going to go off the deep end. I'm just going to tell you.
There you are.
DTR looked good. The offense looked good. They were physical.
Charbonneau
The
can
defense
run.
looked good. They were physical.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a UCLA team like this in a long time.
Ever.
guys.
When was the last time that a UCLA team, to me, you've been watching them probably as long as I am, maybe a little closer. When were they this physical? When did they go up against an SEC team and punch them in the mouth? Maybe that year that they lost that Edward James team late at the season, right, and went to the Cotton Bowl, right? That so what was that, about 98, 9? Right, was that the year where they were undefeated? They had the hurricane game. They were supposed to play Miami in September. It was hurricaned until the end of the season. They lost, and instead of going and playing for a championship, they went to the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, they that year was 97, 98, I think, And they went to the Rose Bowl and played Wisconsin and got beat by Ron Dane, and But I haven't seen a team that physical since then. I mean, they were just they took it to LSU, and I was just sitting there going, man. And then I was talking to my cousin who's a big supporter of that school down on Figueroa. And he was just he was like, man, who are these guys? I go, I don't know. I was just like, I don't know who these guys are. And then the play calling was excellent. I mean, and
look, James, for all the
me.
crap Chip Kelly has taken, and JJ, I think you're in on this, and he's deserved it, right? He's been not good the first couple of years. For all the crap he's taken over the first couple of years, he deserves that much accolades for what they've done in the first 2 weeks, and certainly this weekend.
And man, I was everything. If you would have checked the list down, everything you had to do to win, they did. They did it to win. The kicker, the field goal kicker, boom, he kicks. Like, man, who are these guys? I mean, I still got to get. I haven't been at home for a while, and I really don't know all the stars in his high school like I used to and stuff like that. But man, Alabama can have their quarterback. Georgia can have Mater Dei quarterback, and the St.
John's Bosco
quarterback. We'll take DTR.
He's pretty good.
Bishop Gorman.
And you got a pretty good running back in Charbonneau who transferred in from Michigan. So I think they're good. All right, man, enjoy it. We'll catch you during the week. All right?
Hey, thanks, guys. All right.
Later.
Bye-bye.
All right, here's what's next for UCLA, JJ. So I don't know if you believe in letdowns. The Fresno State team who just played really well at Oregon is coming into the Rose Bowl this week. Kind of a weird.
It's going to be tight.
Take Fresno State in the points game?
I would.
I don't know what the spread's going to be. Then they go to Stanford, who's not that good. They get Arizona State at home. I don't know what Arizona State is.
UCLA, the way they looked against LSU, should be the favorite the rest of the way.
All right, so yes, they've got Utah on the road, and they got the SC game. Bad weekend for the Pac-12 or big weekend for the Pac-12 because of that?
It was bad.
Stanford got pummeled on the road.
Washington lost at home to Montana.
Washington lost at home to Montana. Washington State lost at home to Utah State. Cal lost at home to Nevada. That was rough. Good weekend, bad weekend for Mountain West. 2 Pac-12 victories. 2 Pac-12
Good weekend,
losses.
even though Nevada that was a smart bet.
Well,
If you knew,
we all love that. Yeah.
If you know what you know, then you knew.
Yeah.
And it's take Carson Strong, who made some big time throws that people hadn't seen him, and like, okay, this kid does have something different with that arm.
Yeah. No, I think we all knew that one. None of us saw Utah State coming.
It was 5-3 at one point in time in the first half.
5-3.
What is happening in this game?
It was 5-3. It 100% was 5-3.
Baseball game breakout? What's
Yes.
going on?
26-20. How's Rolo feeling up there now? I mean, it's going to get hot on
Not
Rolo.
feeling good.
It's he won't get vaccinated. He's been pretty loud about not getting vaccinated. He's become somewhat the poster child.
Well, he had to because it was mandated by the
Did he
school.
finally get vaccinated? All right.
He wouldn't be coaching.
So let me give you your Pac-12. I'm sorry, your Mountain West scores. You already knew what happened on Thursday with New Mexico. You already knew what happened with Boise State losing. I see that was the swinger on that. I think it was a rough weekend for the Pac-12. I'm sorry, for the Mountain West. They had the 2 Pac-12 victories. UCF beats Boise State 36-31. They lost 2 FCSs. One of them was brutal. Not that any of them are good. UNLV loses to Eastern Washington, but all right, it's like UNLV and it's Eastern Washington. Did you watch Colorado State Friday night? They looked brutal. South Dakota State went in there and beat them 42-23. It was 42-16. That's one of those games where I jumped on the social media because I wanted to see it. I know that most people now watch the game with the damn Twitter phone, your Twitter in your hand, watch to see what people are saying, which is fine. I just can't listen to the noise sometimes. But that one, it was Friday night, and it was relatively narrow noise where it wasn't scattered all over the place, and people were done with Audazio. They looked there was another place, right, where the place was packed. They had this wonderful atmosphere in this beautiful new stadium on campus, and they looked now good. Let me just tell you, South Dakota State's not your Houston Baptist.
No, they're
right. There's a team that played for a championship last year. They were in the final game of the FCS. It's a good FCS
good
team.
And if you would
They were favored. They were favored. Yeah.
You actually take the points.
Okay, but they came in there and blew their doors off. Like you're paying a team $450,000 to come in and just pants you. Just take your pants down.
So here it is. Bad look for Colorado State. Absolutely. Am I surprised? No, because that is the one team, even more so than
surprised by the
than
margin.
Utah. No, because even more so than Utah State.
Yeah.
I said it Friday when we were wrapping it up in the afternoon, talking with Vitel, going back and forth on some college football stuff, and I said the team I just have no idea
I've
about.
been saying that the whole time.
And it's Colorado State. Like they could come out and be okay. They're competing, looking better this season, or just be a disaster. And it started off disaster mode for Colorado State.
Look, I didn't know what they were going to be either. And that was the one team coming out. Dodger didn't go to media days. I just didn't know. They're going to Vanderbilt next. Like I got Vanderbilt isn't a good SEC team, but I'm going to guess even a not good SEC team is as good, if not better, than a good FCS team. No.
Yes,
And they're going on the road?
Could see Vanderbilt opening up as double-digit favorites.
Goodness gracious. All right, we'll get through the Mountain West when we come back. Aggies. We're going to talk about the Aggies as well because it's Aggies and Lobos this week. Danny Gonzalez at the top of the hour. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, A. Marie, and Adrian on a Labor Day Monday on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Telling
I thought I was pretty tough until I became a father.
Oh, I hate those things.
What do you mean you hate Real toughness is knowing when you need help.
We've all been there. Fried nerves, no sleep. None of us do it alone. If you need help, you've got to ask for it.
We need to fight for our kids' futures. It's up to all of us to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Connect with resources and support at pulltogether.org.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We need some help.
I know. I'm going to CashNetUSA.com, and if approved, we can have the money in our account as soon as the same business day.
Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need.
A lot of law firms will use paid actors to portray attorneys. At Whitener Law Firm, the folks you see on TV are the folks you're going to be meeting with personally.
So when a client calls and comes into my office, you're going to see me. We are Whitener Law Firm.
Animal Humane New Mexico's thrift shop. Shop,
Donate, support the mission, and help homeless pets. For store and donation hours, visit animalhumanenm.org.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
My feet hurt so bad in the morning, I couldn't even put my feet on the floor. So I built all this together to engineer a solution to my pain. Finally, I went to Good Feet, and they gave me this.
Good Feet Arch Supports, engineered for pain relief, personally fitted for you.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
What are you kids doing in there?
Could your house use a break? Set your DeLorean time machine to September 9th through 19th. After 2 years of waiting and countless bored days at home, it's time to get back to the fair. Feast on fair food and fly high above the Midway. Feel the thrill of the rodeo and float above it all on the Sky Ride. This year, it's all there at the New Mexico State Fair, presented by Pattern Energy. Get your tickets today at exponm.com.
Comfort Dental offers braces with no down payment and low monthly payments. With 2 convenient locations, Comfort Dental offers affordable braces and Invisalign for kids and adults to help you get the smile you love. Comfort Dental, board certified and locally owned, is open evenings and Saturdays. No referral needed. Call for a braces or Invisalign appointment today. Comfort Dental Braces. We'll be there when you need us.
At Carl's Jr., this is where the stars align. With a buttery sourdough, that decadent, elegant outer flow. This is where I wanna be, where the taste is straight harmony.
Come taste the new Sourdough Star at Carl's Jr. It's pure poetry. Feed your happy.
Where should you start when you're told you have cancer? Start with getting a second opinion at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, where nearly 7 out of 10 patients choose to treat with us after a second opinion. Get advanced diagnostics and precision treatment options from our team of experts who treat only cancer, and learn about treatment options you may not know exist. Because a second opinion might be the right one. Call now.
Carl's Jr. Sourdough Star. Gotta have bacon. When those flavors hit, there is no mistaking. That sourdough toast is so right, every bite.
Alabama just won the national championship again. I mean, they're so freaking good. It just ran Miami out of the build. Alabama and everybody else. And so people say, well, why do you love college football so much when you know it's Alabama and everybody else? Oh, okay, fair. But did you watch what I watched this weekend? Did you watch everything go down?
There's other things that are.
Did you watch Charlotte? Probably you guys didn't. But did you watch Charlotte beat Duke and win their first ever victory against an FBS opponent for that program? Huh? I'm sorry. I guess Power 5 program. Power 5 program. Yeah. It's Labor Day, dude. I'm supposed to be off today.
We should be golfing.
We should be doing this live from the golf course this morning.
We should be doing that. Okay. Yes, we should be doing
next
that.
year.
Typically, we've taken Labor Day off.
I like this.
No, I'm down with this. I'm down with this because there's so much. But did you watch just the excitement? NIU beat Georgia Tech. Northern Illinois beat Georgia Tech. How about the ACC's weekend? North Carolina was supposed to be a great team. They got beat by Virginia Tech. Georgia Tech gets beat by Northern Illinois from the MAC. Duke gets beat by Charlotte out of the Conference USA. Conference USA had a weekend. Louisiana Tech had every right to beat Mississippi State. Skip does this every year. Skip Holtz does. And somehow gets beat. I walked out, and they were showing me Zach Arnett, and I had to take Addie to something, and I was just watching the score on my phone. It was like 34-17, and Mississippi State beat them 35-34. Louisiana, but the Conference USA had a nice week. UT San Antonio, big win over Illinois. Their first ever win over a Power 5 conference. So some former New Mexico Bowl teams had a pretty good day. BYU did, UTSA did. I thought Houston was going to for a minute when they were beating Texas Tech big early, but it all went down. So you can react to the first weekend of college football. I think I have access to email. Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Lobo Hobo wants to know, award-winning OD question, Jeff. Why are you working on the holiday when the house was closed all weekend before the holiday? The new Jim DiNucci show took the weekend off. That's right, because we opted to work.
Because we opt to work.
Yeah.
We're grinders.
Yeah. Now don't think we're not going to take a floating holiday somewhere. But we had the option. Do you want to come in the Monday after the first weekend of college football, the Monday of Lobo Aggie Week, or Aggie Lobo Week if you prefer. I mean, whichever. And we said, let's work. What's wrong with us? What the hell is wrong with us?
We're brand builders.
Sports fans.
Hondo's in on Gladiators, and if you didn't see the Gladiator ending, it's just it's the kind of stuff where, if all the TV stations would have sent a TV camera to this one, and it'd be one of those all-time Duke City, Albuquerque sports memories that'll last forever. He said, let me put it this way, Jeff. If that game was in Tingley Coliseum, I think the refs swallow their whistle and they don't make that call with 3 seconds left. DC Gladiators are in the finals this morning. Normally you play for the win on the road. What do you think of head coach decision to kick and send the game into extra innings? I'm tired of seeing kickers choke. So they're at the 2-yard line? 1 yard line? I mean, it was right there.
Like
they're
right
knocking
there.
on the door. Nate throws a touchdown pass. They're going to win the game, or at least, who knows, 3 seconds in indoor football is like an eternity. And if you didn't see it, there was an offensive pass interference called a pick play. Receivers crossed, they called it back, and they decided to go for the field goal. It's actually a really good point that we haven't hit on yet. Would you have kicked the field goal, or would you have run another play?
At that point in time, I would have kicked the field goal.
I might have two, just because I know I'm not getting a call in that place. I mean, it honestly felt like they were going to do everything they could to make Arizona win that game. We weren't letting these new guys win. They're not coming to this league and winning it.
Did you get that feeling overall, or was it just from that call?
On that call.
Just on that call.
Yeah.
I didn't get it to that extent. Like they would have replayed it and replayed it and replayed
like
it
the
until
Russians in the Olympics in '72. Yeah.
it went Arizona's way.
Yeah.
And you know me.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Aggressive, and I love going for it, but I do think pushback, one final play at that point in time. Your kicker has been so good.
He was
the new kicker, Gosling.
Well,
they've signed him.
but here, okay, so here was the difference in this game. So it was a 3-point game. Earlier in the game, Arizona blocked a PAT and returned it for a point. And so it's easy to sit here and say what I would have done. I think I would have kicked the field goal too, but don't think it did go through my head. Man, let's just win it now, win or lose it.
Yeah,
now.
especially when you have
Nate Davis,
all those receivers,
all those. I mean, yeah.
I would have.
I would.
It is a decision that if they went for it, they kicked the field goal. I'm in either way.
It was such God. That one was so tough.
Oh, that hurts.
It does. This one, and let me be clear. This is the top level of indoor football in this country. That's the top league. The Arizona Rattlers have been around forever. They just beat Iowa, who'd been around forever. This would have been a monumental victory for that franchise. And to get to the United Bowl in their first year in that league, playing, just trying to find a place to live, cobbling this thing together. I give them all kinds of credit and what Gina's done with that program and the players that they were able to put together, and the season that Nate Davis had and Dello Davis had. And the kick return, by the way, the kick return by Dello was just noise. So he takes it, waits. I mean, every other kickoff I watched, guy was being dropped at the 2, 3, 4 yard line. He damn near scored on that thing. It was heartbreaking. All right, we're going to talk with Danny Gonzalez coming up at 8 o'clock. Lobos and Aggies this weekend. 9 o'clock, Emily Johnson, Lobo goalkeeper. How about that one? So you had that call yesterday. J.J. Buck on the call. Lobos in Washington, Pac-12 team in to play women's soccer. Lobos down 1-0 with about 9 minutes to go.
Lobos looked like a completely different team from last week, and it was very disappointing, the performance against Oregon State, and you bring in a better team in Washington they're frustrated. They're hungry. They opened their season 2 tough losses on the road against top 5 opponents at North Carolina, at Duke. They just got at home 1-0 to Portland. So you're like, man, this team is going to be on edge coming in. And New Mexico handled it. They looked really good. It was a game where early there weren't a lot of chances, but they're still playing good soccer. Both teams were attacking. Just fun to be out there. Lobos fought hard for 90 minutes. A mistake led to Washington's goal. Emily Johnson, that's why I'm excited to talk with her. She had a poor clearance. She sent it right. Now it was a strike from distance for O'Kane, but a poor clearance right to the Washington player who just one touch settled and fired it in from distance. But then they responded. They didn't give up a goal. After that, Jaden Edwards off a free kick heads one in the back of the net, and then with a minute left, the true freshman from right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Albuquerque High School, Zaria Kaitsigua, puts one in the back of the net just from an absolute dime of a pass from Emily Johnson, the goalkeeper. Winner, winner, enchilada dinner.
They need to get a $50 million stadium, or probably $70 million. Right? Give them a stadium for winning that.
Absolutely.
I mean, don't you think?
Yeah.
That's a big win.
So will the Gladiators go back to Tingley?
I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know that they know what they're going to do.
They need a stadium.
Well, I think we need an arena more than we need a stadium, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
I think this ultimately was handled very poorly in terms of this whole stadium procedure moving forward. Because guess what? I don't know how anyone didn't take a step back and say, let's survey the USL landscape for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what's out there. You know who has a fantastic model in all this?
Tell me.
Colorado Springs. So the Switchbacks got a brand new downtown stadium.
Mm-hmm.
But the overall proposal for the city was investing in downtown in the district. They called it like the championship proposal.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a soccer stadium. They're redoing an arena. Like, they're putting a lot of money towards multiple things downtown, getting that crossover, making the improvement, instead of just saying, here's a stadium, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that all this cool stuff we want pops up.
I heard in a movie once, if you build it, they will come.
And then we could be talking potentially about a downtown arena and taking sports overall to another level.
Don't you agree that
instead it's become yes or no and fists up?
I know.
And unfortunately, there's no in between.
Well, if I asked you, what do we need more, an arena or a stadium? Because to me, it's obvious that we need an arena. I see you shaking your head. I mean, you agree with that, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Even though I believe in the product. Like, I think the tenant of said soccer stadium isn't just going to fold next year.
I agree.
But there's too many unanswered questions that they're out there, and I'm just, where are they getting the rest of the money? Like, where? Like, yeah, they're doing all these interviews and they're asking, oh, this is gonna be good for the city. Like, where's the rest of it coming from?
No, they've got their talking points.
The infrastructure around it, has that ever been addressed? Have they talked about that at all?
No. That's my biggest thing. How are we getting in and out of this place? Well, build it, they'll come. There's no public transit. There's no good ways to get in.
No one uses it.
The public transit?
We're in a city where people don't use public transit.
Right.
And you can try to.
Look, well, the public transit we had in art, it runs up and down Central. Then go to the stadiums. Then go to the airport. Then go to the malls.
Nope.
Runs up and down Central. That's great.
That's the reality of it. Would it be nice? Sure. Every city wants their citizens to use more public transit just for the overall good. But we don't do that now.
I have an idea. What if we put the $50 million into creating the infrastructure for this? And that would be beneficial to everything. And then, once the infrastructure is in, then we vote on putting up a stadium down there. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
What comes first? Right? Let's build it so it can succeed. Let's make it so we're doing everything we can so a new stadium would be successful. What was our crowd the other night? About 7,000, 6,000? Although I thought it was really, really nice of them. United did say, hey, we're going to go out. Nobody's told us to do this, but we're going to limit capacity. We're going to, because of the pandemic and cases are rising, we're going to limit our capacity as their attendance was coming down, and they had 6,000 the other night.
So Colorado Springs, back in July of 2018, they put forth to the city, they called it the City for Champions project,
okay,
where they had the soccer field, and then a downtown event center. And so you have state-of-the-art multi-purpose venues designed to host professional, Olympic, and amateur sporting events, entertainment, and cultural events.
Yeah, can you do that? Like, can we combine? Is there like a versatile stadium where you can have like Gladiators, United, everyone play in the same stadium, or is that not possible?
No, I mean, so at that point you're looking at a
is that not a real
dome.
thing?
No, but what if I know everybody wants it to go downtown, and I get it, and ideally that's great. What it you get so much property at the state fairground? Like, what if it went to the state fairground and you kind of merged Uptown and Nob Hill, and that became kind of the cool area? You don't like that?
I see where you're going. I don't.
It just the arena goes where Tingley
honestly,
is.
That the south side of the fairgrounds. I don't know how you change that.
How you clean it up?
Yeah,
it's bad there. I know. You can get in and out, and I think, well, how do you do it? Where's the place? Because I'm going to tell you, and this is just we all talk about our own experience. Do you spend more time at Uptown, Nob Hill, or downtown?
Has a new home.
Should we go to break now? Is that what you're telling me? All right, 505-246-0610. When we come back, Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us. Liberal football coach will wrap up last week's victory over Houston Baptist, take a look forward, and move into New Mexico State and what the Aggies did. Aggies were 28-10. They got beat by San Diego State over the weekend, up 10-0. We haven't even really talked about the Aggies yet, and we need to. We will do that as well. Am I breaking here? All right. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Is a piece of paradise.
Come taste the new Sourdough Star at Carl's Jr. It's pure poetry. Feed your happy.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best.
Animal Humane New Mexico's Thrift Shop. Shop, donate, support the mission, and help homeless pets. For store and donation hours, visit animalhumanenm.org.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
What are you kids doing in there?
Could your house use a break? Set your DeLorean time machine to September 9th through 19th. After 2 years of waiting and countless bored days at home, it's time to get back to the fair. Feast on fair food and fly high above the Midway. Feel the thrill of the rodeo and float above it all on the Sky Ride. This year, it's all there at the New Mexico State Fair, presented by Pattern Energy. Get your tickets today at exponm.com.
Where should you start when you're told you have cancer? Start with getting a second opinion at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, where nearly 7 out of 10 patients choose to treat with us after a second opinion. Get advanced diagnostics and precision treatment options from our team of experts who treat only cancer, and learn about treatment options you may not know exist. Because a second opinion might be the right one. Call now.
If you've been injured in an accident with a truck, experience matters. You may have only one opportunity for justice. Call 1-800-2-KELLER. Keller and Keller.
I thought I was pretty tough until I became a father.
Oh, I hate those things.
What do you mean you hate Real toughness is knowing when you need help.
We've all been there. Fried nerves, no sleep. None of us do it alone. If you need help, you've got to ask for it.
We need to fight for our kids' futures. It's up to all of us to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Connect with resources and support at pulltogether.org.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second
It's
best.
to everybody's life. 95.9 FM and AM 610. KNML Albuquerque. A cumulus station.
7 a.m.
Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Big week around here. Big week around here. It's the rivalry of enchantment. Lobos and Aggies. Saturday at University Stadium. New Mexico 1-0. New Mexico State 0-2. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Glad you're with us. Lobos coming off a 27-17 victory over Houston Baptist on Thursday night. The Aggies look like a totally different team in the first half in Carson against San Diego State on Saturday night, up 10-0 on the Aztecs. Things turned dramatically in the second half as San Diego State came back and beat them 28-10. And so we'll go into the next version of the Lobos and Aggies on Saturday. Conversation with Danny Gonzalez is sponsored by the law offices of Rudy Chavez. If you need legal help and someone who really cares, call Rudy at 242-5500 today and make your legal problems go away. Danny, good morning. Happy Labor Day. No days off. It's just another day, I understand. How you doing?
We're doing great. Thank you guys for having me on. Good morning to everybody. I mean, what a great time it is, Labor Day. That's why we had the game on Thursday. But how about the events of Albuquerque this week? I mean, yesterday, our women's soccer team, I mean, what a huge, huge comeback. And JJ once again did a great job calling the game. And what a pass from Emily Johnson for the winning goal. And then the volleyball team is 6-0, and they have not lost a set. The football team's 1-0. I mean, we won Thursday night, maybe not in the greatest fashion, but we won. The only goal is to win. And then our Gladiators here in Albuquerque, I mean, they came up short, but what a performance. I mean, what great times we got going on in our community.
What did you think of the pick call on the Gladiators? Because I thought it was soft. I thought they crossed but didn't pick. JJ said, yeah, if you look and look and look, it's there. I talked to Seth Bonner, who was on the call. He said, absolutely, it was obvious. What do you think of that?
I think the Arizona Rattlers have been around for a long time. They're expected to win that league, and they get every call you're going to get. I mean, that's no different than Boise State in our league. I mean, they're supposed to win. So if you're going to beat them, you better make it just. I mean, don't take. I'm not taking anything away from the Gladiators because Gina Thomas and they have done a great job, and it's too bad because that would have been really cool in their first year in that league to make it all the way to the championship.
100%, yeah, and boy, it sure looked like they did. All right, you said we didn't win. What did you just say? Not in the greatest fashion. What does that mean? You looked at the tape. You're 1-0. What do you mean when you say we didn't win in the greatest fashion?
We want things to be easy, and we got up 14-0. We're rolling. I mean, our offensive line is doing a great job. We're running the ball. I mean, Bobby Cole and Aaron are getting 6-7 yards a carry. The play action stuff is wide open, and then we give up a punt return for a touchdown, which was a terrible kick and terrible coverage. And then the look on our faces like, oh, God, here we go. I mean, we need to beat that out of us, and we need to get rid of it. And it was very similar to the opponent that we're playing this week. I mean, they played great in the first half, and then San Diego State put a 4-play drive together for a touchdown, and then they started to change a little bit. Now, New Mexico State played great even the 28-10. San Diego State had a couple of plays in that second half that opened up the game, but that was a very, very competitive game, and the Aggies outplayed them for the first 30 minutes of that game. It wasn't even close. And so we've got to continue to get better. I mean, we've got to have an attitude, and when we get someone down, we have to keep going. We can't relax, and we want it to be easy. And that's the product of habit of losing. I mean, when you don't expect success, it's easy when something goes wrong to just, oh well, here we go. And when you don't, and I think our kids are developing this attitude of we're all in, because when you're all in and something happens when you lose, it should hurt so bad. And I think some of us still have that protection, that guard against wanting to just be out there. And so we're making progress at that. Now, it's always easier to fix those things and address those things when you win. I thought Houston Baptist did a great job in the second half of fighting their tails off. I think Coach Shealy did a great job. but we were the better football team, and we should have capitalized on our opportunities better.
Danny, second half, I thought offensively just you weren't good, and I don't know if it was play calling. I don't know if they got better. I don't know what did you see now that you've looked at the tape? What was the difference offensively in the second half?
Well, I think we got out physical up front by our offensive line, and I challenged them this week because we were knocking them off the ball. And then we weren't as aggressive. We weren't as knocking. Now, we made a bunch of assignment mistakes in the second half, which we hadn't done really the last 2 weeks of camp. And the last 2 weeks of camp going against us, what we give up front is a lot harder. And so the miscommunication and assignment mistakes really, I mean, when you have one of those 5 guys make a mistake, it kills the play instantly. And so then we started to grasp a little bit, and I challenged them. I think we got out physical in the second half. And so they take a lot of pride in that. And so I think you'll see a very physical team come out this Saturday.
Lobo football coach Danny Gonzalez is with us on the opening drive.
Danny, what were your impressions of Terry Wilson in that first half? It really did look like he was taking what was given to him, but going through his progressions and really spreading the football around in the offense.
Oh, he started out 13 for 13, which was phenomenal. I mean, he was doing exactly what you said. He was taking what they were giving him. And hand in hand, being physical, those first 2 drives, our offensive line was really, really physical, and we were able to run the ball. When you're able to run the ball for 6 and 7 yards a carry, it's really hard as a defensive coordinator to call good defenses on 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 3. So he had a lot of options. I thought in the second half, he felt a little bit pressed. He missed a couple looks. I mean, we had a wide open corner out on a 3rd down that probably would have been a touchdown where he threw it underneath. He just didn't see the guy. I think he was hampered by his ankle. He twisted his ankle Saturday morning, and I think on that long run you could see it a little bit. But I thought he played pretty good. Obviously, across the board we have to improve. But what I really liked and appreciated and was a significant difference was his demeanor on the sideline. I mean, when you put a kid into a role who's trying to lead, that it's the first time. I mean, you can see sometimes they'll be abrasive. Sometimes they're trying to be a leader by being loud and thinking that's the right way. And sometimes you need that. But for the most part, Terry was really good communication-wise, not only with the coaches but with the other guys, the players. I mean, he got after the O-line a little bit for some protection in a positive way. It was really good to see.
And Danny, when you talk about the offensive line and what happened in the second half, overall, though, are those things that when you talk about week 1 to week 2 that you can coach out of your players, that you're confident in, that, hey, we got it on tape now, we see it, let's change it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of attitude and mental preparation. I mean, we've got to be able to make adjustments on the sideline and be able to execute those. And I mean, I'm a big believer you're going to see your most improvement in a football team between week 1 and 2, just from the nature of going against somebody else, having live contact for a full game. I mean, the situations. We didn't make a lot of penalties, which was a positive. We only had 3 as a football team. But the assignment mistakes on both sides. And then on defense, I thought we got really tired in the second half. I mean, when Houston Baptist started to go fast, I thought especially up front, it showed. I mean, our guys are standing with their hands on their hips, and that's as much of a sign of come and get me because I'm freaking exhausted that we have to continue to beat out of them. We addressed it yesterday. Yesterday we had a great practice. They have the day off today, and then we'll go again tomorrow morning to get ready for – I mean, I absolutely despise the team that we're playing this Saturday, and I want that to be the attitude of our entire team.
Danny Gonzalez with us on the opening drive, Lobos and Aggies this week. Before I get into the Aggies, I want to ask you about your defense. So how do you judge it? I thought they played really well. They didn't give up a offensive score until late in the game. Tavian Combs was really good. You had 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, a recovered fumble, which was big at the end of the game. I don't know how good Houston Baptist was offensively. I thought their quarterback got a lot better from the first quarter to the third quarter. But overall, you pleased where your defense is and what you saw in game 1?
We made progress from last year, which is positive. I thought we had 3 deep balls. We intercepted 2 of them and knocked away the other one. That's a positive. We intercepted 1 and knocked away 2 of them. The other interception was on a short job by Ray Luitele. I thought early on we were playing with the right energy. Like I said, I thought we got tired. We did a lot better job up front with our four-man rush, not running past the quarterback and trying to squeeze the pocket. I thought Langston Murray, who I'm really proud of, because if you'd asked me a year ago if he'd be your nose guard, I'd have said you got no chance. And he took that challenge and really did a great job. I thought Jarek Reed was pretty good with the communication. And like you said, Tavian, I thought Tavian played really well. We still need to continue working on some depth. We need to rotate the guys up front a little better. We made progress, but in what our expectation is around here, they shouldn't have scored that last touchdown. That really bothered me, whether you give them a short field or not. Now, obviously, our punt coverage was terrible, and our punting was not very good, and we need to address that and fix that. But our whole job is to keep them out of the end zone. When you're better than the other team, which we were, especially on defense, they shouldn't have scored. So we had a good conversation about that in our team meeting yesterday, because if we want to be dominant and be who we talk about being, then you don't give those opportunities up.
All right, here comes New Mexico State. I watched them. I know you did. They look like a different team in the first half. Just a completely different team. I thought they were physical up front with San Diego State. The quarterback looked 100% more confident. He ended up throwing 56 times. They're going to throw the ball a ton. They're going to go fast like this team did last week, probably a little faster. He threw 56 passes for over 300 yards. I don't know if they can run the ball as well, but they've got a lot of receivers. I don't know how many of them are healthy, but they run a bunch of different guys. They're going to run a lot of mesh routes at you. But everybody you play against gets the ball out of their quarterback's hand quickly, throws a lot of mesh routes. What would you see with New Mexico State on Saturday night?
No, I mean, if you start on the defense side of the ball, San Diego State in the first half couldn't run the ball at all, and that's what they pride themselves on. And you could see it was causing San Diego State some frustration, which is, that's as big a compliment for a defense as you can get, especially when a team's favored by 31 points or whatever it was, and you come in and you're the one being the aggressor. I think on offense, I thought they did a great job. And, there was here's the difference between their first game against UTEP and their game yesterday. They didn't get any passes called back that were long that shouldn't have been. And then the two receivers made great plays on the outside, just like they did in the first game. That score bothers me in the first game because it wasn't that lopsided of a score. Now, I got a little away from them at the end of the second half in both games, but they played well. Coach Martin has done a great job. He's a buddy of mine. I absolutely hate his football team, but I like him, and I think he's done a phenomenal job there. What they did in 2017 might be one of the greatest coaching jobs, period. But, we've got a great challenge. The Rio Grande rivalry, hate's a bad word, but I can't stand that team. And so we need to really focus in this week and have a great environment here in our stadium on Saturday night and go have fun.
Danny, how do you get that passion to come out of your players? If it's kids from out of state coming into this program, how, other than, if they listen to you talk about this game, but how do they get that rivalry feeling about this matchup?
I think we need to work on that really as a community, JJ. Maybe we're too nice when it becomes involving two schools, because I can remember when I was a youngster in 1992 and UCLA and New Mexico State played in the Sweet 16 here in the pit, and me and my father went, and that might have been one of the worst times I've ever experienced in the pit, other than they didn't win, but our stadium was cheering for that team because they were playing UCLA. That bothered me. Maybe it didn't bother the rest of the people in Albuquerque, but it bothered the tar out of me as a 14-year-old kid or 16-year-old kid. So I think that's going to come through everybody. I despise them because I played against them, and we had some really good games, and the rivalry within the two football teams is really big. Our football team, they're going to get tired of hearing New Mexico State's fight song all week. They're going to get tired of hearing about that team from down south. When we go down there next year, we're not staying. We'll go all the way to El Paso, because I refuse to spend any money in that city to help that university. That's just my belief.
Guys didn't get to play it last year. And it's one thing to hear the coach say it. I guess it's another thing to somehow feel it. And I think JJ's point's right. How do you inject that into them? And I always think a rivalry, the other guy's got to win every once in a while. And I know that doesn't sound right, but you never want them to win. But there was a minute that what was it, a few years ago, JJ? They won 3 in a row? New Mexico State did. So how do you inject that into them, especially because they didn't play them last year?
No, we did not. And unfortunately for Coach Martin and his team, they didn't get to play in the fall at all. They had to play those 2 games in the spring. and they went a longer period of time without playing football than other than UConn than anybody else in the country. I mean, it's got to be if the games are competitive, the rivalry becomes stronger. If they're not very competitive, then it's an expectation. Now we expect to win, and I'm sure. And I keep telling our guys all week, I promise you that New Mexico State is coming up here with the attitude that they can beat us, that they're going to beat us, that this is the chance for them to turn their season around. So you better come prepared for a dogfight, because it's going to be one heck of a battle, and the team that plays the hardest, the longest, is usually the team's going to win in this game.
No, Danny, what atmosphere are you expecting out there at University Stadium? I thought Thursday night it was just so nice to finally be back, have the fans, but this is going to be the first big-time opportunity for you and this team in this stadium. What are you expecting out there Saturday?
My expectation is for this stadium to be full. Now, the guys from down south will bring their contingency, which they always do. I thought our students did a great job on Thursday night. I mean, that was one of the best student sections I've seen in a long time. They were into it. They had a great group over there. I thought the west sideline looked like it should. But I expect this place to be full because of, one, the opponent. Two, it's on a weekend, and it's time to paint this town cherry, so show up.
All right. Lastly, Mountain West, some ups, some downs this week. Big victories by Utah State, which I think maybe some people saw the Nevada game coming, beating Cal. In Nevada, it was a big win for the league. I don't know how many people saw Utah State going up to Washington State and winning. Colorado State took it hard from South Dakota State. Wyoming held on. A tough loss for Boise State. Overall, what would you think about what the league did in week one?
I mean, you had to stay up till about 12:40 to see the end of that Utah State game. Now, Blake's a friend of mine, so we play him on November 26th, so I was highly tuned to that game, and I thought they improved dramatically on defense and had a great drive to win the ball game at the end. That was outstanding for our league. The Colorado State one, you don't want to play South Dakota State, North Dakota State. Those four schools are as competitive as anybody. And obviously the two Montana schools are too, because Montana goes up to Washington. A good friend of mine, Bobby Houck, who we worked together for a while. That's a great win for them. Yeah. And then Montana State almost beat Wyoming up there. So I thought there was a lot of ups and downs for our leagues. But Mountain West is a great football league, and it's going to be competitive all the way to the end.
Yeah. All right. Lastly, I know you want to get people out there and get them out for this weekend. It's going to be a big party. JJ and I, last New Mexico State game, so it was 2 years ago, we were at the New Mexico Bowl tailgate walking around and out in that parking lot out to the east of the stadium. And I remember looking at JJ and saying, it feels like college football. It feels like you can be anywhere on any campus in America today. And I know that's what you want every game to be like. But it was just one of those where this is why we love going to college football, and it should be that atmosphere on Saturday.
No, absolutely. The city of Albuquerque, come on out. Let's have some fun. Let's make this environment. College football, if you watch college football around the country this weekend, what a great.
Awesome.
Last night, Florida State, Notre Dame was unbelievable. Virginia Tech, North Carolina was unbelievable. Georgia, Clemson, putting 60,000 people in Las Vegas for BYU, Arizona. That's what college football is all about. And we have an opportunity. We talk about we want to be big time as a city. We want to be big time as a university. Come support us. Come show up. Let's paint this town cherry. Let's make Saturday like you saw on TV over the weekend, because we can do it here. I fully believe in my heart we can do it. And if you show up, it's going to be one heck of a day on Saturday.
Always appreciate the conversation. Congratulations on last week's win. Good luck against the Aggies on Saturday. We'll catch up with you during the week. And then, of course, next Monday, Danny. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And, Jeff, you did a great job on the TV broadcast. Me and my wife stayed up last night and listened to all of it. JJ, once again, you did a great job yesterday on the soccer. Thank you guys for your investment. Thank you for trying to make college football here in Albuquerque something special, because when you talk about it on the weekend, it gets more interest about it. Thanks for everybody that showed up on Thursday night. Let's double that crowd. Thanks, guys. Go Lobos.
Thanks, Danny. Appreciate the time leading into that and working with one of your former guys. George Carter was fantastic. I thought he was prepared and he was great. So thanks, Danny.
Thank you, guys. Go Lobos.
See you. Danny Gonzalez. The conversation with Danny Gonzalez, sponsored by the law offices of Rudy Chavez. Personal care for your legal issues. Call Rudy at 242-5500 today and make your legal problems go away. All right, so candid about getting out physical by Houston Baptist in the second half. Special teams, they need to get better on their punt team. They've got to get better on their punt team. Defensively, he seems like he was happy with what went on overall.
Danny's one of those coaches that the way he's wired, the defense, they could have shut him out, and then so he'll probably be like, there were a couple plays could have.
Yeah, and we showed it
a little bit better.
We showed it to him. All right, you can respond to that 505-246-0610. Emily Johnson's going to be with us, the Lobo goaltender who had the assist on the winning goal. Will join us at 9 o'clock. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Jim Rome.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Animal Humane New Mexico's Thrift Shop. Shop, donate, support the mission, and help homeless pets. For store and donation hours, visit animalhumanenm.org.
What are you kids doing in there?
Could your house use a break? Set your DeLorean time machine to September 9th through 19th. After 2 years of waiting and countless bored days at home, it's time to get back to the fair. Feast on fair food and fly high above the Midway. Feel the thrill of the rodeo and float above it all on the Sky Ride. This year, it's all there at the New Mexico State Fair, presented by Pattern Energy. Get your tickets today at exponm.com.
Where should you start when you're told you have cancer? Start with getting a second opinion at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, where nearly 7 out of 10 patients choose to treat with us after a second opinion. Get advanced diagnostics and precision treatment options from our team of experts who treat only cancer, and learn about treatment options you may not know exist. Because a second opinion might be the right one. Call now.
If you've been injured in an accident with a truck, experience matters. You may have only one opportunity for justice. Call 1-800-2-KELLER. Keller and Keller.
I thought I was pretty tough until I became a father.
Oh, I hate those things.
What do you mean you hate
Real toughness is knowing when you need help.
We've all been there. Fried nerves, no sleep. None of us do it alone. If you need help, you've got to ask for it.
We need to fight for our kids' futures. It's up to all of us to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Connect with resources and support at pulltogether.org.
Bring back your love.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great. Participate.
Animal Humane New Mexico's Thrift Shop. Shop, donate, support the mission, and help homeless pets. For store and donation hours, visit animalhumanenm.org.
9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Laboring for you on a Labor Day. Hope you're enjoying the day off. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie. We don't get anything off. And Adrian producing on the TV side. 505-246-06.
Shout out to Adrian.
Yeah, no,
by
right?
the way.
No,
We're like, are we on today?
It's the truth, man. So we walked in. I'm like, I'm going to guess there's no ProView. And JJ goes, oh. Hey, by the way, can you add me to the link for the the email address for the link? JJ's got us. If you're ever off, I have no ProView. You realize that, right? If
you're on it, as I don't know why you're not getting the links.
All right. Can we talk about New Mexico State a little bit? The Aggies and Lobos go this weekend. So I don't. Grady hit me right after the LSU game. He was he was bitter. And then Arizona was getting beat by BYU, and I'm like, well, look what's going on. He's like, is that game on TV? I don't know. I mean, it was right there where all the Mountain West games are, where San Diego State is every week. Aggies came out and punched San Diego State in the mouth. Aggies came out, ran the ball fairly well. Jonah Johnson looked terrific. He ended up 34 for 56, 326 yards. He did throw 3 interceptions. A couple of them were tipped. But he looked like a different quarterback from the week before. Now, at the end of the game, by the way, Aggie fans, you're not playing Purdue next week. Rich Walls, the play-by-play guy on CBS Sports Network, says, and next week, New Mexico play New Mexico State. And like 20 seconds later, they put up the schedule, and they'll play Purdue next week. Wow. I don't know where did that even come from? Like, how do you get their whole schedule right and insert Purdue?
Of all the mix-ups, we know how many times New Mexico and New Mexico State are mixed up on broadcasts.
Yeah.
But Purdue?
Yeah.
That's a new one.
The other thing I was really surprised that they never hit on was Jordan Bird from New Mexico. They talked about all the California kids that are playing in California. Jordan Bird had that one breakaway run. He only had, outside the punts, he only had 4 touches, but he had the touchdown. And then he did fumble the punt, but he gets credit for fumbling the punt when his own guy ran into him.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was tough. The Aggies caused turnovers. The Aggies played well defensively. To Danny's point, they were stout up front. They really frustrated San Diego State. And I'm just going to tell you firsthand, Aztec fan was losing their bleeping mind in the first half. I'll show you the text chain. Worst half of football ever by San Diego State. I don't know, man. There's been some bad football.
That's why you got to wait. You have to wait. I wanted to, but I didn't. I was going to tweet out in the first half, Brady Hoke is not going to get to coach a game in a new stadium. I was like, it's first half.
Oof.
And all this stuff looks bad by the end of the second half. So I waited.
It took a minute and, 14 seconds of the second half as they went down, bang, 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 4 plays down the field, and then made an intercepted the first pass that New Mexico State threw, and you realize, oh, this is going the other way.
Now, I'm still bullish on Brady Hoke. I don't necessarily see how he continues the consistency or even takes them a step further, which...
They get Arizona next week on the road.
That's a winnable game for them.
Arizona looked nice against BYU. Arizona came back and rallied like they've got a new coaching staff. Their next 2 games are Arizona and Utah.
Why can't San Diego State find a quarterback?
Yeah. Brookshire was not good. He did not look good at all. He ended up with 7 for 20, 115 yards. He was not good. All right, but on the Aggies, do you feel better about the Aggies than you did coming out of the UTEP game? Because I told you coming out of the UTEP game, and Danny emphasized it, but again, Danny's playing them this week, so he's trying to get his team to believe. They shouldn't have beat UTEP, but they were closer in that game than 30-3, right? Do you agree with that?
Yes.
And they did get better. The coach speak that is, well, the biggest improvement is from week 1 to week 2. You just heard it from Danny. I mean, if you don't believe that, watch what New Mexico State looked like in the first half of the Aggie game, the Aztec game, as opposed to what they looked like the week before.
The one thing I buy into, and it's what Doug Martin said to us last week, the physicality of this football team.
Yeah,
New Mexico State is a lot more physical than you'd anticipate them to be. And I think a lot of that, too, is we're seeing the turnover defensively. And it's the unknown of, oh, man, how are these guys going to look? But they were not good defensively. They haven't been good defensively for a long time. So it's not the worst thing that they pretty much have an entire new group starting on defense.
Yeah, and you saw some of the athletes. They played Brohard, which is, by the way, what a great name for a linebacker, Brohard. What's up, Brohard? He didn't play. He had COVID issues, I think. They're without their best receiver. And then the guy who was their best receiver in this game went down. And I don't. Did you hear? Was it a broken arm?
He's out for the season.
He's out for the season. Is that right?
Gicento.
Oh, that is just brutal. He was because he was terrific. He had 7 for 64 in the first half and a touchdown. He was terrific. So that's a big hit for them. But I thought they looked better. I just now is this what is New Mexico coming out of a Houston Baptist game? I mean, you put the Aggies in the first half against the Aztecs in the second half. We got a football game, don't we? The Aggies the first half, Lobos of the second half. I'm sorry. You got a football game at that point, don't you? So I don't know what we're going to see. But Aggie fan, love your thoughts. 246-0610, 888-922-0610. And again, I got a bunch of emails I got to get to. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Did you see the end? Danny just alluded to it. The end of the Utah State-Washington State game. I did not see. That was a Pac-12 network game, and can I please get the Pac-12?
Get it on DirecTV, please.
I mean, what? I'm not changing my whole entire package simply for that. I might for other stuff, but for crying out loud, how is that not on there?
And that's been a big thing for the Pac-12. Is like the two biggest cable providers or satellite providers. I guess you throw Dish. Is it on Dish? I don't know.
I think it's on Dish.
But they have Dish, Comcast, all the other
I think
ones.
it's just not on Direct.
DirecTV doesn't have it, and it's bizarre.
Yeah.
You're missing out on so many football games. Like I wanted to, and I couldn't find Fresno State, Oregon anywhere.
It was on the Pac-12 network.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, can I stream this? No. Someone
USC
got a link?
San Jose State.
Did someone just Facebook Live this for me?
Yeah. USC San Jose State was on
There's
the
another one. San Jose State. I didn't think they were going to cover that one.
They played with them.
But until the game got away from them in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. They played with
some
them.
good football.
Yeah, they did. It's been a minute. Hello, Marty. How you living?
Pretty good. Go Aggies. You know, that interview did not sit well with me. Denny G talking smack. That just, when he said the word despise, Aggies not going to stay in Las Cruces. I mean, come on. Bobby Bowden, Lou Holtz, Joe Paterno. They'd never do that to their rivalry or opponent.
You don't think?
That's just immature, no class. You know, here he is talking Calvary connection, and he's talking like that. What a hypocrite. What a hypocrite.
Well,
I hope the Aggies slam Lobos. There's no need to name call, smack. Doug Martin's a first-class guy. I mean, come on. Let's help out New Mexico State for a change and root for those guys. But to go that low and to sound like that with that kind of tone, there's no need for that. There's already a lot of hostilities going on. You know, make this a chilly rivalry rather than something hostile. You know, there's no need for that.
All right. Thanks, Marty. Appreciate
Well,
you.
I'm not finished.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
all right then.
Not finished, you know. JJ always bashes me about Tony Snell. Anyways, point is, got to eliminate women's boxing. There's no need for women getting killed in boxing. You know, it's a bad sport for women to be in, or, it's nasty. It's unfortunate what happened to that opponent that just got killed by a couple of punches. So, you know, that Denny G interview really got me going there. All right, thanks.
Thanks. I just want to make sure he's finished. I've heard a lot of worse things said in the rivalry by coaches.
And really, that was kind of the point of it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. He says I like Doug Martin. He's a friend, but I don't like the football program. He grew up here. It's in his blood. You ever been to SC UCLA? They hate each other. Alabama,
each other.
Auburn
Oh.
hate each other.
Hate.
So he won't stay in Cruces. He's going to stay in El Paso. Now, I could see where I'd rather put the tax money in New Mexico instead of Texas if you really want to play that way, but whatever. All right, that's kind of what it's about. I think Danny's probably sitting there going, good, the rivalry's going. I've got it going a little bit. I've got it going.
That's what it's all about.
I mean, have you listened to rivalry stuff before? Like what the heck? With all due respect, Marty, what do you say?
Being a hypocrite about?
Yeah.
Like he did say he respects Doug Martin, but when it comes to the football game, he doesn't like them.
It's rivalry week. It's what it's about.
What are we doing here?
There was nothing that was low class about that.
And he wants it to rub Aggie fans the wrong way.
Yeah.
And he wants that energy. He wants that atmosphere around that game. And I will say, too, the randomness at the end. Yes, there's an unfortunate story that female Mexican boxer that died 5 days after the fight in Montreal. 18-year-old Jeanette Zapata died from injuries sustained in a bout. And that's what he was referencing. But
haven't men died?
Then to say that women shouldn't be boxing?
Haven't men died as a result of fighting too? Boxing?
Probably.
I'm
going to look it up.
there's
but
no
in
probable.
general, you take a
there's no
risk playing sports in general. It doesn't matter if it's
combat
boxing
sport.
or...
There's no probably about it. Yes, men have died as a result of boxing. Yes. I mean, if women are trained just as well as men, they're up against theoretically peers. Now, do you have mismatches? I'm not familiar with this fight, but do you have mismatches that result in injury? You do. But that's a dangerous game. But back to the rivalry smack. I'm not really sure what Marty's reference. Well, I know what he's referencing. I guess I'm going to disagree. That's all. I'm just going to disagree. I don't.
Like, it wasn't supposed to sound good if you're an Aggie fan. But of the things that are said in rivalries, and now I get coaches are going to speak differently than fans. There is a different expectation. But we asked him, how do you build this up? How do you make it matter? Like the fans want it to matter for your football team when you're playing New Mexico State. And he said he's going to stay in a hotel in El Paso.
By the way, that's not the first. What? That's not the first Lobo team who stayed in El Paso. It's not the first team who has stayed in El Paso. In fact, now when teams fly into the airport, many of them stay in El Paso. There's just more options for full-service hotels. There's one full-service hotel in Las Cruces. It's the Encanto. And by the way, they're not going down there this year. They're not. It's got another. It's not this year anyway. The game's here. They're coming here. They're not going down to El Paso this year. I remember doing a game, and I want to say it was that Matt, when I was doing Aggie Vision games, it was the Matt Breida, Younghoe Koo, Georgia Southern team. And the game got delayed because there was a wreck on Interstate 10, and they had their 3 buses coming over from El Paso. And the buses couldn't get there. And literally I remember the buses showing up right around 20 minutes after game time. Do you remember when I did this? This was that many years ago. What, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was? Probably not even that long ago. And literally they got off the bus and put on their gear and warmed up and played because they were staying over in El Paso. Most of the teams stay in El Paso. There's the one full-service hotel in Cruces. It's the Encanto. It's beautiful. I'd like to stay there. But that's not odd. But the reasoning, I look, it is.
And if you're an Aggie fan listening to that,
does that fire you up?
Like, it should bother you. That's kind of the whole point of it. But it wasn't the worst thing that's ever been said about this rivalry either.
Yeah. Top of the hour, Emily Johnson's going to be with us. Lobo goalie, big win for Lobo women's soccer yesterday, 2-1 over Washington in a beautiful come-from-behind game. We'll talk to her coming up at the top of the hour. You can get in at 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Jim Rome.
Quarterback Mac Jones look.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
This event is brought to you by Champion. Since 1919, Champion has created the durable, authentic sportswear you need to conquer your goals. As the official uniform and apparel provider for the NFHS, Champion helps athletes at every level make their mark, the mark of a champion. View our apparel today at champion.com.
Corley's Albuquerque Lincoln Volvo is pleased to sponsor and support NMAA, its activities, and the youth of New Mexico. Today's youth are tomorrow's leaders. Visit us at Corley's Albuquerque Lincoln Volvo or CorleyNewMexico.com.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player and select DVD or digital copy to get yours today.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player and select DVD or digital copy to get yours today.
Animal Humane New Mexico's Thrift Shop. Shop, donate, support the mission, and help homeless pets. For store and donation hours, visit animalhumanenm.org.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At nfhslearn.com, you can find over 70 courses, including more than 30 free courses, such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. To learn more, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
We need some help.
I know. I'm going to CashNetUSA.com, and if approved, we can have the money in our account as soon as the same business day.
Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need.
Is your credit 0.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
All right, text line's open for you. It is also the Kwan's Auto Care hotline, 505-246-0610. I got, no, you're right, it's somebody else. It says, yup, not the play-by-play for United, so let's keep bashing them. Nobody's bashing United, by the way. See, this is. I love when you don't have to put your name on it. If you don't, and this is cool. Like I'm told I'm supposed to have the same opinion you do, but and you can bash my opinion, but I can't bash yours. That's fine. I'm not bashing anything. right. There's two sides to the stadium issue, and if for some reason we're just not blindly yes on a stadium for United, then we're against United. We're bashing United, which is it's just ridiculous. Okay, you're just wrong. But it says, yep, not the play-by-play for United, so let's keep bashing them. When it passes, you guys best not step 1 foot in there. Canamel United against the United.
First off, is this the mayor? Who are you? Like, come with something else then. Be like, guys, this is what you're missing. This is why it is a good idea. Not this stupid, we're not play-by-play for United. By the way, I'll be on with Tyler Ortega, ESPN Plus broadcast, September 18th. Calling the game, so you think like there's some bitterness that we don't have the game, so we're bashing United. You're wrong there. I am not a fan of the lack of plans in the plan right now. Vote, and then we'll tell you where it's going to be. Vote, and then we'll talk about infrastructure. Vote, and then maybe all this culture and stuff that we want will pop up. But $50 million is just bare bones. Where's the rest of the money coming from?
Where's it going?
Things like that raise a ton of questions.
Where's the infrastructure? Where's the money for the land? Where's the money for the demolition? Where's the money for the infrastructure improvement?
So it's not anti-United. It's specifically the stadium question right now.
We talk United after every victory. We have guys on. And by the way,
come with the other side then. Like I'm tired of your texts that say, "Oh, you better not step in the stadium," or what, dude? What? You're going to yell at us to get out? Were you, and by the way, if you were, congrats to you. But have you ever been to an Albuquerque Soul game? Did you pay to go to a Soul game at St. Pius? Have you broadcasted the Albuquerque Soul? Have you been an advocate for soccer in this community outside of a United Stadium? You know who was one of the first people to ever have Ron Patel and Lawrence Espinosa on the radio to talk about the product? This guy right here. Went out of my way to have him on because I believe in soccer. And I think it's really good. I'm just not all in on this stadium. And your stupid texts, like threatening us, oh, if they pass this stadium, you better not go. You best not go. Need to stop.
People are grumpy this morning.
Yeah, he's going to throw a smoke bomb at you.
Like, come with the other side. Have a conversation. All this is a pissing match between yes and no. And this is what happens. And this is a problem. It's because the people that are so dug in on both sides aren't listening. And guess what? That's like everything we do in this freaking world right now. But come with some positives. Like bring it up. Say, hey, no, this is why I know there's a lot of unanswered questions, but why we should move forward. Instead of just slurping up everything and then thinking you're a yes guy, so you slurp, 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 and then, oh, we're not the United radio station, so we're automatically going to be against it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, like let me just tell you, nobody has been more soccer supportive for the last decade, not just the last couple of years when your United showed up, than JJ Buck. Nobody. And I'm not sure KNML ever tried to be play-by-play for United. We got a lot of things on this radio station. We're programmed pretty well. So your assertion is asinine. Oh, and by the way, it's wrong. And appreciate your threat. You guys better not step 1 foot in there. Thank you. Hello, Grady. How you living? Good morning.
Ooh, it's a little heated this morning.
Yeah, it's Labor Day. Everybody's a little cranky.
Yeah, you see, you guys are supposed to be not working today. That's what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. So, no, I first of all, with that, just quickly, I couldn't agree with you more. It's like, you know, your unnamed, unsigned, horrible hot take.
Text.
Save that.
Threat.
Just save that. Yeah. So, I actually wanted to jump in about the Aggies and kind of continue on what something Coach Gonzalez said. And it looked like to me that the Aggies, you know, I hate to say, you know, Aggie's going to Aggie, but that personal foul they got called on my man number 7 when they were about to get off the field.
Oh, worst play period. I texted somebody right there. One of my Aggie fans was on me, and I said, yeah, your boy just cost you the game right there.
Yeah, that right there. That turned the game. And that, to me, says that those guys are not used to fighting in games that they're quote-unquote not supposed to win. And because the games like, against UTEP where they might be close, so they were fighting hard, and they'll probably fight hard this coming weekend games that on paper they think, we actually can compete. We're supposed to win, but those mistakes are they're made by teams that don't know how to win, that are infected with losing. And it's sad and it's unfortunate, and I'm not sitting here calling for, Coach Martin's job. I will say it's going to be very hard for him, someone who's been there for 9 years, to continue to separate himself from that particular culture and get his guys to believe in themselves and to not make just those bonehead mistakes. Then they had another personal foul call just on the following drive that got San Diego State way down the field. So it's like, they just shot themselves in the foot. And then they just continued, then the wheels just came completely off. And I'm not quite sure how you stop that, but it's interesting that that's where they're at. So hopefully they can break that cycle. And I will say this about the Lobos: it's amazing. After the win on Thursday, it was an air of a bit of disappointment. People were a little disappointed. People were a little reserved in their celebration, and I think that's actually a good thing. And here's why: they've raised expectations around here. Coach Gonzalez has come in, and the message that he has brought, it's like teams that actually have low expectations, they'll celebrate a victory anywhere they get it. But teams that actually have expectations of playing well and winning and doing well in the conference, when you, quote-unquote, barely get by an FCS opponent, or an FBS, I'm not sure which one it is, then all of a sudden it's like, whoa. It's crazy what expectations bring and how that affects people's evaluation of the game. But you know what? I'm all for high expectations. And after seeing Boise State lose, and I tell you what, Boise State, UCF had bigger, better, faster players, period. Boise State was hanging in that game by trickeration and by deception, and they were not the better team. And outside of Fresno State, hey, this conference is pretty much wide open. So the Lobos really have a chance to make a difference and really do well in this conference. And I'll say this, after watching that weekend of college football, and I know other people have said this, so this isn't my original thought, they being college football, NCAA, whomever, need to not rank teams until after
100%.
everyone's played 3 games.
100%.
Because I tell you what, UCLA going from unranked, and I'm not sure where they'll go, but they're going to start off too low to work themselves up by the end of the season if they continue to do well. And Coach Gonzalez and other teams have said it, you make the biggest improvement from week 1 to week 2, so why not evaluate teams and rank teams then? Because I tell you what, I don't think Oklahoma's the second-ranked team in the country.
Not the what we saw, no. All right, man. No, that's good stuff, and it's great to hear you. Thanks for that.
Appreciate the time.
Later. Just got a text from Steve. It says, kudos to JJ. Yep, and I said, here. He said, yep, both of you, that was total BS. It was absolute BS. Sebastian, good morning. Here on the Quans Auto Care Hotline. Good day, sir.
Hey, I know it's not Wednesday, guys, but that text really, really got my blood boiling, too. I mean, Somos Unidos has to be the biggest crock of you-know-what in this town that I have ever seen. The arrogance that comes out of that organization is unbelievable. And Jay deserves it right, because I was right there at St. Pius with him during the Soul season. Ask Larry Espinosa how they drove him out of business. Somos Unidos there, right? The stuff that happened at Star Brothers Brewing, and I really think that's why this stadium, and all the things you guys have mentioned, of course, but that and the arrogance is why it's going to lose at the ballot, because these guys are not uniters. They're dividers. And the arrogance that comes out of that organization, it's palpable, and people around town know about it, and they feel it. So they do a great job marketing over that arrogance. Great marketing masks everything, or so they think, but this ballot or this question on the ballot is really going to test that.
All right, man. No, then thank you for the call.
Sebastian's the dude that put in some time at the Soul games, too. So.
Yeah, no, you guys both did. You guys both did, and I know how vested you both are in what was going on.
And I want to be swayed to yes. I'm not some steadfast no. It's just things like that where there's no conversation. It's just allegations. Like, oh, you're not broadcasting United games, so you're anti-United. Not at all, dude.
Yeah,
like,
in
do
fact-
you know
in fact,
who I
you
am
are-
at all?
yeah.
Like, do you know what soccer means to me at all? Like, and so that's just what's really frustrating is there's no conversation. It's just you're adamant yes or no. Like, I'm waiting to be swayed. I can still go either way. I'm not saying I would immediately vote no. I'm leaning there right now, but talk to me about it then. Instead of bringing this that ridiculous,
Answer some of the questions.
Better not step foot in that stadium. What?
Or
Like, really? So we.
Yeah.
It's
Or
just
what?
ridiculous.
Or what? So
And
almost
if
we
you're
need
such a big soccer fan too, you're out at the game yesterday. You're supporting UNM women's soccer. You're going to the other things in town. Like what's going on?
So almost we need us. I mean, the
And there's a
core-
lot of good people.
Yeah, I
in
know,
that
I know.
organization.
No,
and
there
players.
are. And the
So this
core-
isn't just bashing overall United.
The core is very united, and to that texter, if you're not with them, then we don't want to be united with you, and that's kind of what the vibe has been. We'll talk soccer when we come back. Emily Johnson's global goaltender, big win over Washington yesterday. Next on the opening drive.
Jim in Rome.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
This event is brought to you by Champion. Since 1919, Champion has created the durable, authentic sportswear you need to conquer your goals. As the official uniform and apparel provider for the NFHS, Champion helps athletes at every level make their mark, the mark of a champion. View our apparel today at champion.com.
Corley's Albuquerque Lincoln Volvo is pleased to sponsor and support NMAA, its activities and the youth of New Mexico. Today's youth are tomorrow's leaders. Visit us at Corley's Albuquerque Lincoln Volvo or CorleyNewMexico.com.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player and select DVD or digital copy to get yours today.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player and select DVD or digital copy to get yours today.
Animal Humane New Mexico's Thrift Shop. Shop, donate, support the mission, and help homeless pets. For store and donation hours, visit animalhumanenm.org.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At nfhslearn.com, you can find over 70 courses, including more than 30 free courses, such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. To learn more, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
We need some help.
I know. I'm going to CashNetUSA.com. And if approved, we can have the money in our account as soon as the same business day.
Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need.
The Cumulus Station. Even if they're not that proud of 7 a.m. This time is the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
And all right, big win yesterday for Lobo Soccer. Lobo women at home against the Pac-12's Washington Huskies. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Lobo women's soccer yesterday down 1-0 late in the second half. They get 2 goals and beat the Washington Huskies by a score of 2-1. JJ had the call. We're just going to give you courtesy of
By the way,
yeah,
with my good friend Tyler Ortega, voice of Mexico United on ESPN Plus.
That's right.
So,
yeah,
good broadcasting, buddy.
And you guys do a great job. As we await Emily Johnson, the goalkeeper, who had the assist on the final goal, the game-winning goal, the match clincher. I'll get back to the text line, 505-246-0610 or 888-922-0610. And people have your back on this, as they should, because that texter, and people are pretty tough behind their keyboard, is so totally out of line. And the one who threatened us, you guys best not step one foot in.
Give me some positives.
Yeah.
Like, we're here to talk it out. I am someone that I'm leaning no right now, but I'm not dead set.
On the stadium.
Like, I'm here to be swayed. I want to listen. But comments like that, there's nothing like, okay, this makes sense. I see what you see as a United fan. It's just straight up, you're anti this because you don't get to do this and don't come here.
Look, the vision of a stadium, I think we're all about. Whether we carry their games or not, we're all about the vision of a stadium. I, personally, and you seem to be leaning there, and many others, don't like the way this is constructed. The uncertainty, where's the money coming from? Where's the infrastructure coming from? Where's it actually going? All the questions behind it. But and so we've asked questions. So instead of asking or answering a question or helping, give some ideas why you're voting there, other than you just wave a flag at a soccer game, you're gonna call names and threat. One text said Duke City's Gladiators are more deserving of a stadium than the semi-pro soccer team. It's from Martin and Rio Communities. Not sure I don't disagree. Actually, I do agree.
But we don't want teams going against each other.
No, they're not. I've told you I think we need an arena more than we need a stadium. I've been on the record for that for 25 years. But does it have to be one or the other? I don't know that it does. But that's that person's opinion. Somebody else said, dang, JJ, never heard such passion. Finally, LOL. That's good. Yes. Another one says, the problem with the stadium proposal is it's heavily marketed by New Mexico United team, which is heavily by the city, toward the conclusion that marketed desire of a few involved should be the goal of all. They're great marketers. Look, New Mexico United is marketed as well as any franchise, anything I've seen in this market since I've been here. Steve says fans are definitely a bit crazy as a whole. Read the comments of their pages. They like to eat their own, LOL. I don't, and that's fine. I think that's any fan base, but okay. But that's where this is all coming from. Gosh, I didn't think on the Monday of the first Monday after football and Labor Day, this is where we're going to be. But I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. Thought people would be tired, but happy. They have the day off.
Yeah. There was football all weekend.
So much. Golf.
We didn't
Baseball.
even get to the golf.
Oh, the golf.
Dan says United continue to divide. Jeffrey, Juan Jose, A. Maria. you're A. Maria, because that
Oh,
makes
yes,
it somehow.
A. Maria's
well,
great.
If it's Juan Jose Jefre,
I'm gonna make a shirt with all the different names.
yeah, you're going to go front and back, maybe down the sleeves. He says that caller that warned you to stay away from the new stadium probably supported United's commercial. Wear a mask, stay home, stay safe to circumvent public health orders. They played out of state and found a way to practice in New Mexico when not a single other squad has been able to do that without getting shut down. It's from Dan. Okay. It's going to be a weird 2 months, isn't it? We're inside 2 months from Election Day.
And because it's comments like that blow up and make it easy for the people
on the other side
that say, "Oh, they're the dividers," to not listen and have a conversation because they go, "Of course, look at this." Like you disagree with the fact that we're not totally on board right now. Okay, then bring to the table some of those other ideas. That's the whole point. You have an opportunity to share your thoughts. We're going to read them. Like, we're going to discuss it. And if you have some positive, you say, this is what you're missing. This is why it needs to be done. Send that text.
I think what we're looking for is, tell me why. Aside from, gosh, it'd be great. They need a stadium, and they're really good, and I like them, and the city will be better. I agree with the vision of a stadium. I do. I don't agree with the way this is constructed. I've told you why many times. Nobody's come back and answered any of those questions. Right? Have you heard? I mean,
Not so far.
Yeah, and that's all. And so that's why I'm not on board. This isn't I hate the soccer team or I'm against the soccer team or it's honest or they're on another radio station. No. And you and I both know that the soccer team is going to continue to get to perform well and be here, whether they get the stadium or not. Now, I don't know what Plan B is, but they've been incredibly impressive. Now, do I think they're I do. I've told you this. I believe that they have marketed to a point where they've got people believing that they've got a bigger support base than they actually do. I do believe that. Now, I think that their core of about 8 to 14, 15,000 people is pretty strong. Okay, I do.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with someone this weekend, and again, this is just like I know a lot of people. Not everybody, but I know. I don't know a lot of people who are just all about United. I know a lot of people who are all about the Lobos. I know all people who are big Aggie fans. I know people who go to games, but it's now I know they're there, and you're gonna say, Jeff, that's not your demographic. You're old, fat, and bald. Okay, fine. But I know they're there. Do you think I'm wrong when I say they've done a great job? They've got a really, really passionate fan base, a really solid core, and they've marketed to the point where they have a lot of people believing that they're bigger than they really are.
I do think there's element to that. Now, I will say it's a product I believe in. Like, I don't think
As do I.
Yeah, and we've touched on that. Like, in terms of, we don't think that this team is going to fold next season. The USL Championship is here, and it's here to stay.
Yes.
Now, I think there's some questions about how big that league can get ultimately, but you have a stable franchise that's getting high attendance numbers relative to the rest of the league, which is all positives, but yet we want to drop. It's not just $50 million. Like, that's not going to cover everything. Like, they're going to be by far and away the most expensive stadium, and it's not by like, they're $5 million more. It's going to be like by like $60 million more
in the league
than anyone else in the league. And do I think a project makes sense? Yes. Do I want to see a new stadium? I do, because I believe in sport. I believe in this community. But right now, as constructed, where it's not, it's all hope. It's, you vote, and then we'll tell you we're going to build it, and then we'll tell you how you're going to get there and where you're going to park, and then this, and then that, and then maybe it becomes this great cultural thing. Like, okay, I like the idea, but maybe present that more clearly initially instead of leaving all these what ifs on the back end.
I think a lot of the thing too, Peter has said it'll be a private, public-private partnership, and he's been asked a number of times, well, what are you putting up privately? Well, we'll see. It's really hard to get a lot of people to vote on we'll see. Where's it going to go? Wow, we're not sure yet. Well, what am I voting on? Well, you're voting on one of these two spots. Where's the rest of the money coming from? Well, we're going to get it. How much are you putting up privately? Well, we haven't, we can't say yet. What am I voting on? How am I getting there? What's infrastructure going to be like? How are we getting in and out? What's the bigger plan? Well, there's going to be a cultural center, there's going to be art, and there's going to be restaurants. Okay. It's worked in other cities. Yeah, but other cities were different. Like there was a lot more infrastructure support, public transportation around where it's going. I'm listening. Like I have questions. It's not hate.
No, the what it can be around it can't be a big selling point, because first and foremost, it's a soccer stadium that you need to fill for
and
the
that's
soccer
okay.
game. Yeah.
By the way, your point on that is so okay. It's a soccer stadium. You don't have to sell me that it's going to be an art studio and it's going to be restaurants and it's a soccer stadium.
Like, let's cement that first. Like, all right, this is where it's going to be. This is what parking and transportation is going to look like.
Yeah. I get it, man. People are angry. Like that texter. We're probably the only show. And I think Bob has too. And I know sports stations, you're supposed to just be all about yay on sports. And look, I love the vision of a new stadium. I think we need a new arena too. But because we're a sports station that's not just yes, stadium, never mind how much it costs. So you're angry. It's got nothing to do with where the damn soccer games are broadcast. Right? I
no.
They do a nice job across the street, and good for them. Like that's great. I got no animosity towards them. Any more than you're going to sit here because we got the Lobos and the Isotopes and the Raiders and the Broncos and the NFL package? Come on now. Come on. And to rip on J.J. Buck, who has been, I mean, as much as Peter Trevisani has been great with that group that brought United, I'm looking you in the eye and telling you J.J. Buck has been better than anybody, more supportive for soccer in this community in the last decade than anybody, period. Ron Patel and Larry Espinoza were really big too. Both of them have nothing to do with United anymore. But you have been the leading advocate with a voice for years for soccer. And you swayed me a long way. You got me. I'm not 100% there, but I watched the matches and I appreciate it a lot more. But for someone to come at you and say you better not step foot in that stadium, or what? What are you gonna do, tough guy? Or what?
It's because it's frustrating because it doesn't advance the conversation, because then it gets into moments like this and it just gets people not saying, hey, let's talk this out. This is why I am a yes. This is why I'm a no. It's just, let's just dig in deeper where we are. And I know that there are plenty with United that are trying to present that message. And there's a lot of good people over there. There's a lot of dudes that I like on that team. Chris Wean, I'll say it all the time. He's one of my favorite athletes I've ever gotten the chance to cover. I'm so excited that he's back. But all those positives, it's so hard to just sit here. And it's not, the cool thing, let's be fiscally responsible and vote no. It's, they straight up said in a meeting, $50 million, that's a bare bones stadium. Okay, well, we're getting. So you have 59.
You got a pretty damn nice stadium that you're in now.
Right. So, and would it be nice to have a soccer-specific stadium for a franchise?
Sure.
Yes, and a lot of teams in the league are trying to do that, but they're also not necessarily doing it for $75 million. So is there a fair in between? And I get they don't want to have a pop-up stadium. Okay, you could probably do something.
So who's got pop-up stadiums?
It's what Phoenix Rising.
Oh, I look pretty nice.
Did.
I mean, so tell me about that.
I think
get
they're
it's not state-of-the-art, gorgeous infrastructure, art, and restaurants. So pop-up stadiums aren't just like Adwater, but they kind of are. They go up quickly. You can do it for $15 million-ish. Mm-hmm. You just plus the land, and it's a no-frill stadium. Well, wait a minute. You just told me $50 million is bare bones. So what are we doing?
So you're sitting there with the proposed bond. It's $50 million. They've got $9 million already from the state.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there at $59 million. The city has already said, yeah, we'll help with land costs. What, $5 to $7 million, maybe in that range. Who knows what the exact number is going to be? okay, so you're sitting there. Let's say you're at $66 million in with a yes vote, and you're like, well, the bare bones, but then we need to do everything else. Okay, where's the next $15 million coming from? And because if you start to say, you know what, we got interest, Facebook, Netflix, Amazon, they want to be a part of it, then I think people go, okay, you got some big-time companies willing to put some more money into it. Let's see where this goes. But we're just still sitting here with believe in us. Vote yes, and then we'll make everything come together.
And let me just tell you this. Comments like this, you better not step one foot in there, and the whining like that doesn't help your cause. I'm just going to tell you, it might fire up your base, and it lengthens the divide. Now, I didn't hear this, and I'm seeing this on the text line, and I know that Trevisani was on with Fred and Van on Saturday morning, right? There's a text on here that says, did the owner of the soccer team, of New Mexico United soccer team, state on Sports Animal Saturday morning, September 4th, that proposed naming rights of the stadium should be owned by the team instead of the city? I did not hear it. Okay, so you don't know.
I did not hear that either.
Okay.
So I can't confirm that.
And this is on here twice. Did the owner of this team state the naming rights? So I don't know that. I don't know. But if the city's paying for it and it's city, shouldn't the city get the naming rights to help pay for it? I mean, but that'll all be in the lease. That'll all be in who's going to manage it. All right, can we talk some football or something? Can I get to the rest of these emails?
Yes.
God, that's why I wanted to work on Labor Day. I mean,
man,
football is football, Jeff.
We're so excited.
I know. I was all like, all right, we're coming in.
So
it's the first day after. We're going to come
all
in.
the sports.
Goodness, I get NFL on like we're a couple nights away from NFL, right?
And my birthday.
Your birthday's Thursday, isn't it?
Yes.
We're bringing burritos.
We'll figure out something to do.
Is Papa Frank's open that early?
Bob can help us out because he
Bobcat's the man.
is an Uber driver.
Yeah.
DoorDash.
Yeah.
One of those.
Not Uber Eats, DoorDash. One of those.
So he'll charge us to go get the burritos?
Yes.
But we have an in.
What if I get him a burrito?
Oh, he'll love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he will.
We need a special delivery Thursday morning, Bob.
Edward, maybe some cake. Have you met
What
Edward
is
yet?
it? Half-eaten cake?
Half-eaten cake. He's devastatingly
Hopefully I meet
handsome
all
and-
these guys this week when I go to the Lobo game.
Oh, you will.
Big tailgate.
That's how we get more people out to the game.
What's that?
Meet our producer.
Hey, Marie will be
Oh
there.
yeah, I'll be there. Cherry red and all.
Do you have a cherry red dress like the Vikings dress?
I have one close.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is it all woofy woofy?
It's all woofy woofy.
You got woof 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 all over it?
Woof 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 all over it.
All right.
They get like Game of Thrones coat to wear to a Lobo game. Just a big.
I think the Cumulus tailgate is kind of like close to the New Mexico Bowl tailgate too.
Awesome.
So,
I want to meet Rudy. I got to meet the
all
whole
the
gang.
high-profile people partying from where we're gonna be.
I don't know.
Like, look, there's Jeff. Oh, look at that. They're like, Jeff. You're just like,
Sup?
Is someone yelling my name? What is this?
Play a drinking game every time someone messes up my name.
Boy, I could be hammered by like 9 a.m. I don't know if we can get Rudy to leave his tailgate to come on over to ours. Maybe. We'll have fun. All right, I'm going to go through. I'm going to go through the emails when we get back. We still got to talk to Patrick Cantlay winning the $15 million.
Oh, it's pretty.
Yeah, it is. We can get into the NFL stuff. Zach Martin's out for the Cowboys on Thursday night. NFL is about ready to go. 505-246-0610. You know, I walk in here every day and I'm like, I just don't know where it's going. I think I have an idea. I've got a show pretty much produced, and all it takes is one threat. You better not set one. Can I change my name? Do you know why my team name was Zoom?
No, I don't.
Do we have that drop back there still? Did you like that?
I'll find it.
I got
I'm
it.
fine.
Did you appreciate that? It's a tribute to Lance.
I think I.
Zoom, 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 zoom. It's the opening drive. Amory's taking your calls. Adrian's putting us on TV. We are merely Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Animal Humane New Mexico's thrift shop. Shop. donate, support the mission, and help homeless pets. For store and donation hours, visit animalhumanenm.org.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
The NFHS Learning Center is the leader in online education for the interscholastic community. At nfhslearn.com, you can find over 70 courses, including more than 30 free courses, such as concussion in sports, heat illness prevention, sudden cardiac arrest, and protecting students from abuse. To learn more, visit the NFHS Learning Center.
We need some help.
I know. I'm going to CashNetUSA.com. And if approved, we can have the money in our account as soon as the same business day.
Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
A lot of law firms will use paid actors to portray attorneys. At Whitener Law Firm, the folks you see on TV are the folks you're going to be meeting with personally.
So when a client calls and comes into my office, you're going to see me. We are Whitener Law Firm.
Animal Humane New Mexico's Thrift Shop. Shop, donate, support the mission, and help homeless pets. For store and donation hours, visit animalhumanenm.org.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
What are you kids doing in there?
Could your house use a break? Set your DeLorean time machine to September 9th through 19th. After 2 years of waiting and countless bored days at home, it's time to get back to the fair. Feast on fair food and fly high above the Midway. Feel the thrill of the rodeo and float above it all on the Sky Ride. This year, it's all there at the New Mexico State Fair, presented by Pattern Energy. Get your tickets today at exponm.com.
Where should you start when you're told you have cancer? Start with getting a second opinion at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, where nearly 7 out of 10 patients choose to treat with us after a second opinion. Get advanced diagnostics and precision treatment options from our team of experts who treat only cancer, and learn about treatment options you may not know exist. Because a second opinion might be the right one. Call now.
If you've been injured in an accident with a truck, experience matters. You may have only one opportunity for justice. Call 1-800-2-KELLER. Keller and Keller.
I thought I was pretty tough until I became a father.
Oh, I hate those things.
What do you mean you hate it? Real toughness is knowing when you need help.
We've all been there. Fried nerves, no sleep. None of us do it alone. If you need help, you've got to ask for it.
We need to fight for our kids' futures. It's up to all of us to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Connect with resources and support at pulltogether.org.
Bring back your love.
All right, let's play. 505-246-0610. That's what we are here for. You on Labor Day. Hey! It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie's taking your calls and producing on the radio side, and Adrian on the TV side. I met Adrian, like live and in person last
I worked with him a couple times as well.
Yeah.
Doing games.
Good dude. It was nice. Again, props to that ProView crew. Was out, saw some high school football this weekend. I did halftime with Ed Nunez and Roger Holian on the Academy Hope Christian game. Got to see Alden. Hadn't seen Alden in a minute. How about the Chargers are up to a 3-0 start?
How'd they look?
They won 21-20 on a blocked extra point. Was the difference. That was the difference. Hope looked nice. But I thought Academy held on. It was hung out on the field with Sebastian and
special teams.
Brought Addie down, and she got to kind of big dog it at school.
Oh, I'm on the sidelines, and what?
Yeah, that's right. We'll talk to Sebastian on Wednesday. Saw James Yotis. All the big that was a big dog game. If James Yotis and Sebastian Noel were there, right?
Yes.
And Ed Nunez and Roger Holian and the ProView crew. That was.
You see those guys walking in, this game.
Well, Yotis and Sebastian. I mean, so
pop to it.
If you were going to say who knows high school sports better than anybody in the state, it's Yotis and Sebastian, right? Yes. Those are your two guys. So, and they were both at that game. I was glad to be there and saw them both. All right, let's get to some emails. You're bringing them. It's what's going on here? It's Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com, JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. Another big win for Lobo women's volleyball. Harold loves him some Lobo volleyball. Jeff, I'm going to start calling the coach Mr. Clean Sheet. I admit I don't know a lot about this weekend's Lobo invite opponents, but the names don't blow my socks off. I don't see those clubs and think, whoa, we got them to play in our tournament. I'm expecting 3 more clean sheets. Harold, Lobo volleyball's rolling. And they haven't lost, like Danny said, they haven't lost a set. So they continue to roll. It's a good time down there on South Campus.
Confidence, belief, handle the schedule that's in front of you, and attack the Mountain West.
All right, Gene's in and said, not even Albuquerque's AAA baseball franchise, Jeff. Boy, would it be nice if there was a Lobo football game to go to after today's award-winning OD. Gene do a long tailgate. Gene could do a long tailgate. What else is on? U.S. Open does nothing for me. A few random, mostly meaningless Major League Baseball games. No Big Cat wrapped up yesterday. Golf wrapped up yesterday. Not even Albuquerque's AAA franchise. They limp towards the finish line with an early Labor Day post time in Oklahoma City. Based on that, if Lobo football is going to open at home, I sure wish they'd move their opener to Monday. Why not give football fans an alternative to Louisville Ole Miss Monday night and have the sports spotlight almost to yourself, and then have a short week, have to take Tuesday off and start preparing for your rival game on Wednesday?
You'd get even less than the 15,000 that showed up on Thursday night because you'd be toasted from the weekend at the lake.
Well, yeah. Would you play a day game? Like if you played a day game today at 2 in 80-something degree weather, that would be too hot, JJ. That's too hot.
Be warm.
It's too hot. I was at the Academy game. People
started at noon yesterday, and Academy and high school football.
They started at 11 the other day. Yeah. People were just sucking up every speck of shade they could find on both sides of that field. It was hot. All right. Why'd everybody else play on Saturday and Thursday and Friday? It seemed to work for them, just not here. And look, what did you think of the crowds around the Mountain West? I didn't see Wyoming. Boy, Wyoming barely snuck by Montana.
Wyoming looked good.
Is the Big Sky
crowd-wise not
better football? Big Sky or Mountain West right now? No, honestly, Eastern Washington, Montana State, South Dakota, and South Dakota State are not in. The Dakotas are not in there. But if you put a league between the Dakotas, all 4 of them, North and South states, Montana State, Eastern Washington, who would have a better league? Like it's close. I'm not lying.
It's close because North Dakota State and South Dakota State got something going.
Yeah.
Right now.
No, they flat out ball. I mean, obviously, I think the Mountain West is better.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, look, playing on Monday would be a huge disadvantage for the New Mexico State game. You want to start preparing on Wednesday? Let's take Tuesday off and go Wednesday. I mean, I got it. I understand it would be better for Gene, and I appreciate that. It's almost Unidos, right? We're all united in that.
Take a day. You're already enjoying. You're kicking back, listening to the radio. Just maybe pop open some Dr. Seuss books and just enjoy the day. Pop on pop.
Seuss books. What the hell is that? What? You can tell he's got a 2-year-old.
We need more coffee.
Right? What do I do when I relax at night? I read Dr. Seuss.
Look up some tea times.
Who doesn't? I got a bunch of Dr. Seuss books. You need them? Need some more?
They're probably worth money or getting canceled.
So we took those ones, a lot of the ones, yes, we thought about that. They're in a
getting
box
canceled?
somewhere. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
I have the Zoom, by the way, when you're ready.
Yeah, so I'll get there.
Let me know.
Now it makes sense to you? Well, it will soon.
Yeah.
Jeremy says, time for another edition of JJ Bucks. Get off my rocks, or get off my lawn. Jeff, weren't the self-checks put in so those shoppers that only have one or two items can get in and out? Why do people with a basket full of crap who spend a half hour looking for UPC codes start using the self-checkout?
They don't want to wait in the other lines.
It is funny watching
Because-
people try to self-check, and
Right?
they just can't do it.
It's because all of a sudden they're like, we have self-checkout, so we don't need the regular cashiers.
Right.
And there's only one or two of those open all the time anyway, so you have to at times
All
go
right.
to the self-checkout.
So I self-check as much as I can. But let me ask you this, and I've been afraid to ask it, so I'll ask this when nobody's. No, I'm kidding. If you have produce, if I've got avocados, or I've got tomatoes, or I got bananas, how do you self-check then, or can you?
Oh, you can. They
Yeah.
have a button. You look it up.
So you have to know the code and look.
There's pictures
I
on
know
the
they can see-
screen. You can just click the picture.
So you can?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, and it weighs
Okay, I
it
didn't know.
and everything.
I haven't tried it yet. No, I haven't tried it yet.
Oh.
No, I don't want to be the guy standing there just going
Free avocados does Jeff Symbieta have?
No, I haven't. Okay, I got a bag of oranges, and so okay, they weigh 2.62 pounds, but how do I pay for them? Like I haven't tried it yet. So there's little pictures that pop up.
Yeah, those little button.
All right, now I know. I'll do it tonight, maybe tomorrow.
Oh, they're just tomatoes.
What?
No one's gonna notice.
Is that really like just a horrible question?
No.
Like, all right. All right. I mean, if it is, I'm down. It's
not a horrible question.
I
but
won't step foot in there ever.
You're not. I know that so many people
Yeah.
probably like, oh, how many avocados do you have? One bag of 5.
Yeah, it probably happens. Yeah. Will you put that on the board, by the way, for fantasy football team names?
What do we got?
You better not step foot in there.
You better not step foot. Kind of long.
I was asked if I've been drinking. Not a lot. Is that wrong? I'm just saying. Gopher says 2 weeks ago, Jeff, most OD callers didn't know who Patrick Cantley was. Now he's wearing the FedEx belt. That was the most boring golf ever. It was a 4-day match play. The guys chasing all hung and were never a factor. The second most exciting thing was watching Brooks limp off the court. You know what? He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And as excited I was about the golf this weekend, he's not wrong. It was him and John Rahm. You give that big of an advantage, and I understand why, because you're trying to make this a season-long deal, but he's not wrong. It wasn't that exciting.
And when you have, it's similar to racing in regards to you win X amount of races, you finish certain spots, that's ultimately how you build up to the championship. And even when you do a playoff, if you want to say, hey, we want to credit you for what you've done, then ultimately in your final tournament, you're going to go in with not a lot of excitement sometimes. Like, I don't know how you do that because if Patrick Cantlay, let's just say, he went out there, he won 2
He won by the 2
tournaments.
strokes he was leading by.
Yeah, so if he wins
Or
2
wins-
tournaments, finishes top 5, and he's already got all this in his back pocket, then I get why you can't say, well, now this last tournament, everything's on the line.
Yeah, I don't know how to get there, and they're trying. But he's not wrong. It wasn't nearly as exciting as I was hoping it was going to be. Like last week, that 6, and it's not because Bryson wasn't there. Last week's 6-hole playoff was way, way, way better. Sid says, if I can't watch the MDA anymore on Labor Day, Mr. Symbieta, I guess the OD is the next best thing to Jerry and Ed. Does that make anything? Do you guys know what that means? Is this way too generational? The Jerry Lewis telethon, does that mean anything to you?
No.
Back in the day, and I guess it's a long time ago, Labor Day was Jerry Lewis multiple dystrophy telethon. It was a national thing with local cut-ins, and Jerry Lewis, hey ladies, and he was out there, and it was a 24-hour telethon to raise money on Labor Day, and that's what Labor Day was.
Well, speaking of things going over everyone's head, that was Brian Kelly's post-game comment.
Oh!
And everyone's like, how do you not know? I'm sorry, I don't know about the
didn't know John
1976 coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So one of the best.
Yes, that's going to go over half the audience's head.
Well, it was just so out of context, first of all. So for what JJ's talking about, Notre Dame wins the game in overtime yesterday.
Need to play the audio.
It was so
too.
good.
Do we have the audio?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll get organized.
We'll
with
do
him.
that after the next break and get into that. I'm going to ask you to play this leading into this call. So we had a fantasy football draft yesterday. JJ put together just a league for people here in the building. So like Strauss and Brandon and Carlos and
turned into who's ever available
right.
in the wannabe talking head
in
world.
The general building. And so we all picked our teams last night, and I named my team Zoom, 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 zoom. And I know A. Marie didn't know why, but here's why.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
So I named it for Lance. And my grade on the Yahoo thing was not very good. But I was looking at the board there, and humble, cocky,
I like that.
sneaky, mediocre.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
But so you're not familiar. Lance had called our show for probably, 10 years at least. Showed up at the sports animal events, and Lance passed away, within the last 6 months. And so I named my team Zoom, 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 Zoom. And I knew leading into Edward's call, that might mean a little something to you. Hello, Edward.
You know what? It touches deep. Lance, fellow Frenchman, a couple of generations removed, and I do miss him dearly. Yeah. And thank you for honoring him.
How about that name, though? I was looking at we got a board up here. We really do have a board of names. Maybe if it was today, I would have said, don't step foot in here. But
the question I have is, who went with Bishop Sycamore?
Nobody. Yeah, nobody. That's good.
Because that's going to be my name.
A. Marie did steal my Brooksy thing, though. I do have another team named Brooksy, but she went with my Brooksy thing.
There's some saltiness in the air today. You know what happens on Labor Day? And by the way, thank you for being laborious today, the three of you. A. Marie traverses 2,000 miles away, and she's bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and ready to excel today, my friends.
No doubt. What do you got?
She was telling her birthday is in a few days, which coincides with the beginning of the NFL season, and the greatest player in the history of the NFL, who's going to navigate to his 8th championship this year. But we'll save that for later this week, as the prognostications occur.
Yes.
But Jeff, I know every week's kind of like a Labor Day weekend for you, but I fully respect that you're engaged today. New Mexico State, I was feeling cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
There's another name for you. I was feeling cautiously optimistic, but how do they just fall apart? My God.
I think the Aztecs had something to do with that, too. The Aztecs woke up, and, there was just a complete shift at halftime.
I'm just unfortunate, but, your result today, because there is sarcasm that flows through the text. Anybody can hide behind their keyboard or their thumbing on text messaging, but I give you credit for processing what people share and not taking things too personally. But, yeah, anybody that wants to take shots.
I took that one a little personally. I did.
JJ, and you know what? You were right to do that, because if anyone's been supportive of all things soccer in this community, I got to say you have led the efforts, and I commend you for that. But I'm thoroughly excited. And to your question about that Big Sky versus Mountain West, there's some great – every year we get an NFL quarterback out of the Big Sky, in the top 10.
Though, aren't they in the Horizon League for the Dakotas? Don't they play in the Horizon? I think, or the Summit, one of those two. But, yeah, they're not in the Big Sky. But your point's not wrong.
It's fun football. But let me tell you, whoever ranked Miami number 14, I think they got one first down the last minute of the first half. One first down the last minute of the first half. They couldn't move the ball. So I don't know. I think we're up for a great football season. Notre Dame, hey, here we are 30 years later, and Florida is still missing kicks, either wide left or wide right, to lose critical football games.
Missouri Valley, by the way. Missouri Valley is where the Dakotas play. Missouri Valley.
Okay. And by the way, the moment that Notre Dame's coach came out with that, I do remember Rich McKay, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers came out. It was the late 70s.
Except for it was John McKay.
And the reporter asked him, hey, what do you think of your team's performance, execution? And he said, I'm in favor of it.
Yeah,
it resonated with me immediately, probably because I'm an old guy.
Yeah, but Richie McKay was the former Lobo coach, and John McKay was the guy who made that comment.
Sorry, John McKay. Yes, indeed.
I'm just here to fact check.
Yes, indeed. I sit corrected here in the couch, so you're right.
All right.
Anyway, I appreciate you letting me share a few thoughts. I thoroughly enjoy your show. Credit to you guys for working today. And let's have a great week.
10-4, good buddy. See ya. 505-246-0610. Final break. We'll come back with you on the opening drive. A. Marie, Adrian, Me and JJ at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Animal Humane New Mexico's Thrift Shop. Shop, donate, support the mission, and help homeless pets. For store and donation hours, visit animalhumanenm.org.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
What are you kids doing in there?
Could your house use a break? Set your DeLorean time machine to September 9th through 19th. After 2 years of waiting and countless bored days at home, it's time to get back to the fair. Feast on fair food and fly high above the Midway. Feel the thrill of the rodeo and float above it all on the Sky Ride. This year, it's all there at the New Mexico State Fair, presented by Pattern Energy. Get your tickets today at exponm.com.
Where should you start when you're told you have cancer? Start with getting a second opinion at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, where nearly 7 out of 10 patients choose to treat with us after a second opinion. Get advanced diagnostics and precision treatment options from our team of experts who treat only cancer, and learn about treatment options you may not know exist. Because a second opinion might be the right one. Call now.
If you've been injured in an accident with a truck, experience matters. You may have only one opportunity for justice. Call 1-800-2-KELLER. Keller and Keller.
I thought I was pretty tough until I became a father.
Oh, I hate those things.
What do you mean you hate it? Real toughness is knowing when you need help.
We've all been there. Fried nerves, no sleep. None of us do it alone. If you need help, you've got to ask for it.
We need to fight for our kids' futures. It's up to all of us to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Connect with resources and support at pulltogether.org.
Back your love.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
It's the 10,
Be great.
95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, the gentleman who told us not to step foot in the place said, "You're too funny." That wasn't a threat at all. Show me anything about that was threatening. But I'm glad it helped your show with some passion. content on a slow sports day. Peace, dudes. He also said you do know the election is until November 2nd, right?
Slow sports day.
Yeah, right. Isn't there time to answer that stuff before we vote? Yeah, there is. I just haven't heard any answers. I've heard a lot of talking about it. Yes, there's plenty of time. I just haven't heard any
I guess
answers.
and things could change from September 6th to voting day.
Yeah.
But it feels like you would like to have those things more in a line. And you've been coming in all salty, and don't act like now, I wasn't trying to do nothing on the text line. Ha ha ha. No, you've been trying to bash us on it, and that's fine. And yeah, I was passionate about it because I believe in soccer. I believe in this community moving forward, but I'm not just gonna slurp up everything United, and it has zero to do with broadcasting. Guess what? I get to be a part of broadcast. I get to do games for New Mexico United. Who knows now what's gonna happen because we'll see. But it's junk that you want to talk and then try to act like you're still all cool. Like, oh, I didn't mean nothing. Okay. All right.
I got one other. It says, tell you why. The New Mexico United soccer team owner on that other radio station at the team's Meow Wolf game night said in an interview about the stadium the team needs a place to play, as if to suggest the team is homeless. I don't know that ever the long-term plan was to be at Isotopes Park. So I think that's where that's coming from. All right, we're going to go to Terry here in a second, but here's the Brian Kelly situation. So Brian Kelly's the coach at Notre Dame. They beat Florida State in overtime on a field goal last night. So he kind of brought back memories of John McKay. John McKay was a great coach at USC. Coached some of the great USC teams. And when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were in an expansion franchise in the NFL, he went over and was the first coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers were horrible. They were 0-14 that year. And John McKay, after a game, was asked what he thought. It was, Coach, what do you think of your team's execution? And John McKay deadpanly said, I'm in favor of it. Just an old classic line. So Brian Kelly tried to go there last night on the field on ABC when interviewed after the game.
What do you think of your team's ability to withstand Florida State's impressive comeback?
Yeah, I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight. I mean, we just didn't execute very well.
See what he did? Goodness. Swing and a miss.
Awkward.
And after a win, the 9th-ranked team in the country just won an overtime game, and we should.
It wasn't even the same setup.
Yeah.
What did you think your team's
he had to set himself
resiliency?
Up.
He's like, I'm in favor of execution. What?
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, you just think about the audience. Half the audience, myself included. First thing, I wasn't like, oh yeah, 1976 Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach John McKay. Didn't know that. Once I heard it, I'm like, oh, that's funny. Brian Kelly's attempt at redoing that was not.
Yeah. They went 0-26 to get started. Frank just told me. Such a swing and a miss. Just, and then he had to answer to it afterward. I was just joking. Like when funny guys.
You want to hear it? I have it.
You got him. I haven't heard that yet.
It's funny. Hold on.
Yeah. All right. I'm here. I'll hold on. What do you want me to do when we hold on?
No. I'm going to put a play right now.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Here's Brian Kelly trying to explain it, and then Terry, we're coming to you
after the game. It wasn't funny. It's an old John McKay quote that he used after the game. So I was talking and making a joke about it. Why it was taken serious? Are you people crazy?
I'm sure. Not everyone knows you like we do, Brian.
Oh, it's a John McKay quote that he used after a game. I was stealing one of his old quotes and being funny. I guess nobody likes to be funny anymore.
Okay, I'll give you part of that as accurate. You were stealing one of his old quotes. I just don't know that you weren't funny. It wasn't funny.
It wasn't the same setup. It wasn't the same execution of said joke.
All right, I'm going to lean on you just for a quick second because, well, you're a comedian.
I'm a stand-up comedian.
All right, and for those of you who don't know, A. Marie is a stand-up comedian.
Like a real one. I know people think everyone is. But.
All right, if you have to explain your joke, is it funny?
Oh, no. And it's all about timing and how you deliver it. It's bad.
All right.
We all have our nights, though.
Yeah, I guess. It just wasn't funny. And sometimes you're just not funny. Terry, good morning. How you living?
Good morning, everyone. I'm doing well.
Enjoying the holiday. Thanks for all you
It's a holiday?
coming in and doing the job. Yeah, I know. You just suck it. I many years ago I had to work holidays, but yeah, thank you guys for coming in. I go back to I think I was one of the first to send a text. You asked a question about what quarterback couldn't learn the playbook, and I'd send in Paxton Lynch, and the next day you guys go, hey, we don't have all your phone numbers memorized. And if A. Marie had been with the program back then, I probably would have answered the question Samantha Ponder's husband. But I digress. I became a big-time Tulane fan Saturday. I'm a petty Big 12 fan now, and so I was rooting the heck for Tulane to marching in at the end of the game and show Oklahoma, yeah, goodbye, have fun in the SEC. But on the last little note is be lighthearted but very serious. You guys started the show off with about Mackenzie Melton. I just seeing the parents having my daughter go through numerous surgeries and all that, and just watching up there and them so proud and happy that he's out on the field, but also going, oh crap, he's out on the field when he was scrambling and making a couple of those runs. It was like, oh geez, it's one of those stories. Unfortunately, they don't, always have that happy ending with the coach decided, no, let's appeal the play, and after the 50-yard field goal went through, and then unfortunately the next one got hooked. But it's things like that just get your spirits up, and I wish someday UNM could have the crowd full of fans and enjoying it, because watching everything throughout the country all over the weekend of 50, 60, 70,000 people or more watching the games, it's fun to do. But I appreciate you guys coming in. I wish people, would have the guts to put their names to stuff, because if they want to disagree, no problem. But hey, that's part of life in the new social media world that people can hide. But I appreciate everything you guys do. Have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of it. Be safe. Take
All
care.
right, see you, Terry. 505-246-0610. Look, here's my deal. I hope you get there. And this weekend could be a good start for Lobo football and crowds. And I believe they're going to have a nice crowd. You define what nice is. I think 25,000 would be nice. Don't you?
I think it'd be very nice.
And I keep going back to 2 years ago, and that parking lot scene, and you and I walk on that east lot and just going, wow. Like, it feels like college football. I watched football this weekend and realized why I love college football. I watched the atmosphere, even the Rose Bowl, even UCLA fans were out in gigantic numbers. Remember the whole story in the week between 0 week and the first week. Well, nobody goes to UCLA games. Did you see that crowd? That was embarrassing against Hawaii. Okay, fine. They showed for the LSU game. I watched last night. I watched all those games, and it's like, damn, that's why I love this game. And obviously, people all over the country love this. I've asked this question for years. What are we missing? I've said I feel like we're missing out on something in this market, that we don't have that atmosphere. And I'm not blaming. This is no blame game. I just feel like we miss out on something. You see everybody else, not everybody, but all around the country, what college football does for communities, and I wish we could be that way. And hopefully this weekend, at least for a weekend, we are, and we get started that way.
Yeah, and it is a combination. You need people to take a chance on something, but then you also need the product to draw people in. And this year for Danny Gonzalez, it's a little bit of both. The expectations are higher. They hope to be improving as a football team, but they're like, hey, give us that chance, and then hopefully we can show you the results this season.
Yeah. All right, let me get as many more as I can in here. That's why you recruited Timex Terry, says Carl. Jeff, I was talking to some Lobo fans over the weekend, and they told me Timex Terry was more banged up than Lobo football was letting on. If he'd have been one of the quarterbacks Lobo football has had in the recent past, he wouldn't have played. I know he's not 100%, but whatever that means. Jack's concerned about the UTEP game. They're 2-0, and they play Boise State Friday. After that game, the Chihuahuas will have had 15 days to rest and prepare for Lobo football. Yep. UTEP gets 2 weeks off to prepare for Lobos, while Lobos go to Texas A&M. Get there first, but that's not going to be a gimme. Now, they're 2-0. They beat Bethune-Cookman by 10. see how good they are, and we'll get a better idea against Boise. Although I don't know. I mean, is UTEP kind of the team that played the Aggies? Is that kind of what you think they are? Right, they're nice. Let's get there first. Omar says tough task for the NFL's most complete franchise. Jeff, even if Dallas Cowboys get blued out of the built at the defending champs on opening day, I still think the OD is going to be hearing a lot of Charlie Pride this season. I'm still going with 14-3. 14-3 for the Cowboys?
What?
Somebody just asked me on my text, "Are you drinking this morning?" I said, "Not a lot."
No. I mean, we need one after this
You
one.
know,
Soon, we
there's
need it.
Four
Maybe
of
a
us
tea time.
on the entire floor right now, so maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It is Labor Day, right? Can I get an Uber home? Todd said, new OD feud, Marty versus Danny Gonzalez. Jeff, I agree. The coach sounded petty. Would rather give the New Mexico taxpayer dollars to Texas and Las Cruces businesses because some of it might go back to New Mexico State. Really? And I guess I'm like, really? All right, thanks to Danny Gonzalez. He was with us today. Interesting Labor Day, boys and girl.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's
This was
next.
one for the books.
Yeah, but we'll be back tomorrow. Adrian, thank you for working on Labor Day. Hey, Marie, how was your trip?
It was great.
All right, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Enjoy the day. You get
Not
the rest
enough
of the day off? Oh, yeah.
Huge day.
All right, be good to each other. We'll be back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio for you starting at 7 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your Labor Day. Be good to each other. Please be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow.
Raider Nation has a new home in Albuquerque.
And Richard.
Animal Humane New Mexico's thrift shop. Shop, donate, support the mission, and help homeless pets. For store and donation hours, visit animalhumanenm.org.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I thought I was pretty tough until I became a father.
Oh, I hate those things.
What do you mean you hate it? Real toughness is knowing when you need help.
We've all been there. Fried nerves, no sleep. None of us do it alone. If you need help, you've got to ask for it.
We need to fight for our kids' futures. It's up to all of us to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Connect with resources and support at pulltogether.org.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Be great.
Participate.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
I thought I was pretty tough until I became a father.
Oh, I hate those things.
What do you mean you hate
Real toughness is knowing when you need help.
We've all been there. Fried nerves, no sleep. None of us do it alone. If you need help, you've got to ask for it.
We need to fight for our kids' futures. It's up to all of us to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Connect with resources and support at pulltogether.org.
Bring you back your love.